Okay, I've clicked the button. I believe we are live. Hello, everyone. I am Quinn, the GM. I'm coming to you live over the magic of the internet. I am here with the one and only Fantasy Haven, and today we are ranking characters in Ice and Fire based on how likely we think they are to survive the series. Do you want to say hello?
Yes. Oh, hi everyone. Sorry, the stream finally loaded on my PC, so I had two Quinn voices at once, and I was just kind of like, taken aback. Hey guys, how's it going? It's the late Jarl Haven here. That's
Oh
right,
yeah,
I'm
you've
not Lord
changed your
anymore.
title with your new area of
I
focus.
am, yeah, Elder Scrolls baby, Elder
Yeah.
Scrolls. Although, having said that, I am currently working on a Song of Ice and Fire video, but I'm dancing around to all kind of stuff. But yeah, welcome everyone to the stream. Look what we've done. Look what Quinn's made. Look at
Yes.
that beautiful little graph.
We've innovated since last time as to not have tier list weirdness. We have two axes here. We have how much we want them to survive and how much we think they will survive, because I think those are two very different things, at least for some of these characters. I've also just listed a bunch on the side here. I also should say, if you would like to have us discuss a particular character, just feel free to super chat and suggest one. We actually already had one super chat, which I should read off. That was before the stream from Katrina Simmons. Yo, so it's my wedding, and I can't make it to the live stream, but I hope you keep doing them because they're great. Would love to see a best worst relationship stream sometime, romantic, sibling, parent, etc. Cheers. Thank you very much, and congratulations on your wedding. That's crazy.
Congrats. That's some fun stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. Of course, we don't want to step on the toes of the almighty Swift X and Gliders who did this for a Valentine's Day stream. But we could put our own spin on it.
We could.
We're already ripping them off
We
by
could do
being
like
them, but just
healthiest
slightly more boring.
families.
Yeah, that'll get people off their seats, rushing to the PC.
Maybe.
Oh, healthy families, Song of Ice and Fire. How long would that stream be? 2 seconds? Come on.
Probably. All right. Who do you want to start with? What do you think? Actually, we just got a suggestion on who to start with.
Jaime.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I will. Yeah, you're getting super chats without messages. That's wild. Before we do start, I do just very want to quickly say that if you want to send in suggestions in super chats that aren't on screen or aren't POVs, then I'd prefer if they were niche people.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, I'm a little quiet audio-wise.
Oh, okay.
Is that true, people? Let me know. But yes, because we'll probably be. This is a part one. We'll probably do part two on my channel. And if everyone keeps suggesting big characters, then by the time we get to the stream on my channel, it's just going to be like Shitmouth and Moonboy. So if you want to send in suggestions in the form of super chat, we will rank them. But go for weirder ones and niche ones and smaller ones. Actually, it's your money. Do whatever you want. Ignore me.
All right.
Yes, Jaime. We're starting with Jaime then. I guess.
Jaime's an interesting one. What do you think, Jaime's fate?
Let's put Jaime's thing over here. Oh boy, where do I even begin with Jaime? So obviously one thing we have to get out of the way when discussing the fate of all these characters is that the show does exist, and in some way it's influenced by George's notes. So there's a common consensus in the fandom. Before season 8, there was a common consensus that Jaime's arc is very obvious and very clear. He is going to, at some point, go back to, well, presumably King's Landing, not necessarily, maybe Castle Rock, but in some way he will go back to Cersei, and he will be the one who, he will be the Valonqar, he will kill her, he will choke the life out from her. Maybe she will be the Mad Queen, so in the words of George Lucas, it's like poetry, it rhymes. He kills the Mad King, then goes on to kill the Mad Queen, and perhaps he's doing so while she's, I don't know, ignite. I think the theory was always that, like, this is while she's destroying the city, and that maybe he dies in the aftermath or something like that. And everyone just generally had this, they're gonna die together, but he will kill her first and then he will die shortly afterwards.
Yes.
Then season 8 comes out, and Jaime, after having a one night stand with Brienne, right after he skeets, then he eats, he busts a nut, then flees the hut all the way over to King's Landing. Everyone's like, okay, that's weird. And then he goes to Cersei, and everyone's like, okay, they haven't set up the Valonqar prophecy. Are we doing a? They don't need to have, to be fair. Is he gonna kill her? Is he gonna whatever? And they just kind of hug it out and then get crushed by bricks.
Maegor the Cruel is the Valonqar.
I mean, he is the younger brother.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently the original notes for the script, it wasn't going to be uh, the tower falling on them. It was going to be a fireball. So like during the general destruction caused by Drogon and Dany, it was going to be like flames coming down the corridor and like incinerating them. But then they changed it because they wanted Tyrion to find the bodies. I guess they could have had like a smoking golden hand, but
That would have been sick.
I that would have been badass. Just a pile of ash and like a golden hand punching through. Ooh. Anyway,
Have I told you my
oh
thoughts
man,
on
so
Jaime's fate, or was I talking to somebody else about that?
I hope it wasn't me because I certainly don't remember. Go on, go on.
It's not anything super specific, but it's that at some point in like 2022, Martin was talking on his blog about having just thought of like the perfect ending for a character that he had not arrived at previously. And my thought has always been that that's Jaime.
Okay, yes, I do remember Gurm's comments on that. So I can't imagine George not knowing Jamie's fate that late into the series though.
I
I
could,
feel like that.
mostly because Jaime has changed so much, I feel like. Because he was originally like the main villain, right?
Yes, yes, he was originally meant to be the evil handsome king, Prince Charming from Shrek. He was probably gonna what was it? He's gonna murder his way through the line of succession
Mm-hmm.
somehow, despite not being related to Robert. But I don't know, I'm sure he would have worked that one out. The problem with that, Quinn, is that I think Jamie and Cersei's fates have to be tied together, right? The classic, we went into the world together, they'll leave it together. Like, I think they kind of need to die together in some capacity.
Yeah.
And if George only just thought of a fate for Jamie, I feel like he would also have thought of a fate for Cersei, and he would have said, "Oh, two characters, right?" Or maybe it's more. Maybe he wanted them both to go out together, but he didn't have any specifics, and then he finally came up with a specific. But then again, he was referring to one character, singular,
That's a good
and not
point.
two. So
I think he's gonna die. I think he's on the
oh,
right side of the chart.
guaranteed,
I
guaranteed. There's everything about his character just screams, he will. He will die. Like even back in like season 5 of Game of Thrones, like you'd go on the forums, go on Reddit, people were kind of accepting, oh yeah, Jamie's not making out the series, right? Jamie and Cersei are both going out. The question is how? Do you agree with me that it has to be tied in with Cersei?
Yes, I think that their fates are pretty clearly tied together. I'm not 110% sold on Jaime as Valonqar, just because I think it is so obvious. Like, obviously she thinks it's going to be Tyrion, but the obvious subversion is it's Jaime. With that
No, I
said,
agree with that.
I think that even if it's not Jaime, he will be there in the immediate aftermath, or like while she's dying, or just after she's died. I've often seen the thought that it's going to be something to do with the hand chain of office. Have you heard that thought?
Well, in the same way, similar to how Tyrion kills Shay.
Yeah, and the thought there
Like
is that if it
garroting.
is Jaime only has one hand. Maybe he's using the hand chain instead.
Oh, he just like wraps it around, twists it with one hand, pulls. I was gonna say, yeah, because if he's got one hand, that's gonna be. I mean, he's probably got a good upper body strength, so I bet he could do it.
Yeah,
What if he wraps the? People used to be like, the prophecy is specifically wrapping cold fingers, right, or cold hand around her neck,
that's cold hands.
something like that. Oh my God, Benjen, the younger brother, the Valonqar
Oh
Benjen.
shit!
Oh, we're on a tangent already. But people used to be like cold hands. It's gonna be his cold golden hand. And I always thought, how?
That's
How's
also
he
one
gonna trick her
hand.
with a solid gold hand, like slip her neck in, and then I don't know. But
Cold hands would work for the necklace.
do you? Yes, yes, it would. Oh, yes, cold hands, the hand. But my only issue is that it's already been done with Tyrion and Shay.
That's true, but Martin loves his like George Lucas. It's like poetry at rhymes type stuff.
I guess one Lannister brother kills his lover with cold hands. So does another. Oh, that was unintentional bars. Did you fucking hear that?
That's pretty
Oh
good.
yes, let's go. Oh my God. Anyway, how do you fit? What if Benioff and Weiss just copied what George said? What if it isn't? Obviously, we know they're very likely going to die together. What if it isn't the case of Jaime killing Cersei? What if it is he goes back to her? The toxic relationship cannot be broken. They embrace each other, and then something happens that kills them. Whether it's young Griff destroys them with his dragon, if he's riding a dragon. Whether it's Daenerys, whether it's Jon Con or something. What do you think about them reconciling before his death? Do you think? I think that would be absurdly unsatisfying for his arc.
I completely agree, and I think that goes along with how they just kind of butchered Jaime's arc in the show, even as early as like season 5, because we got like him going to Dorne and then him mopping up the Riverlands for Cersei and just staying in lockstep with her that entire time. That was very different from what we have in the books, given like the whole put this in the fire when she's pleading with him to come and defend her for her trial, and then he doesn't even really think about her much in A Dance with Dragons. I think their fates are going to be tied together somehow. I don't think they're going to like reconcile or anything, or it'll be like a nice moment where they're hugging each other. I do think they're going to die one after the other. My biggest thing with the show is it felt like kind of disconnected and like nothing mattered. They just had a building fall on them. It's like the most impersonal death of all time.
Yeah, I honestly think if it and it's everyone made fun of the logistics of it. Excuse me, right? Where like Tyrion found them, but it's like where the bricks fell, it was just like down a long corridor, and people were like, based on the way this has been shot, if they had just like moved to the side, they would have survived those bricks. They would have got out of the way. Like I think the fireball would have been better.
But the question we need to ask is, do we want Jaime to die by the end of the series?
Honestly, do I love the character? Do I want him to find happiness? Do I want to keep reading? Yes. Would it be satisfying for both his character and arc if he died? I think yes. I think I do want him to die, not in terms of because I don't like him, but because I like him, and I think it would a death would be not a necessary ending for him, but a very good one. Like if it's done well, just as ending his story with Cersei, they came out into the world together, they'll leave the world together. I think has the chance to be very satisfying. So yes, I do, but I wouldn't want to place it like all the way near the top because there's a part of me that's like, no, I want him to live because he's such a likable character.
I do agree with you. I think it's very like death dependent. It's something that if it's done right, death is the perfect end for his arc. But if it's done like the show, it is awful.
If you gave me the choice between the show death and I don't know, Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, Jaime, I'd take the latter, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I think bottom right hand, but further to the right than he is down.
Wait, say that again.
Bottom right quadrant, further to the right than he is down.
Yes.
And then, since we're just talking about Cersei before moving on to the next request.
So likely to die. I mean, I would argue likely to die is almost like 100%. Like I don't see him. I don't see him living.
Cersei is further to the right than he is my thought.
Okay, yeah, no, I see that. So let's put him here. He's not all the way to the right.
I did put him a little further
and he's
up.
Not all. Okay, further up. We want him to die because it's narratively satisfying, but we don't want him to die because he's a. Although he does kind of deserve it in many aspects.
Yeah,
so
but like I can see worlds where him living is great. Like the possibility I've thought of just now was like, is he Kingsguard for King Bran to be full circle on paralyzing him?
Hell yeah.
But yeah, do we want to hit on Cersei before we get to the next request? Since we
but
just
as
talked
punishment for pushing Bran out the window, like how Stannis cut the fingers off of Davos for engaging in smuggling, Bran will cut off Jaime's other hand, and then he'll be Jaime Golden Hands, and he'll just be walking around with two gold hands.
Bran warged Zolo the Fat and cut off Jaime's hand.
Oh, that's why Zolo's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Jaime can be friends with Sir Pounce. He can be friends with Sir Pounce. He can learn what it's like to not have opposable thumbs. Yeah, Zolo the Fat is one of the few bloody mamas who's still alive. He's on the run.
I forgot about that.
Which you can find out about in my upcoming Brave Companions video? Question mark?
Oh,
maybe. I mean, why not? I mean, that'd be a fun one to make.
But yeah.
Okay, so So how? What are we doing? Are we taking every super chat as we come, or shall we do the POVs first and then let's through the super chats at the end?
I think
Because
let's
there's a lot.
yeah.
Up to you.
I think let's be a little fluid at first for now. I'd say we've already touched a bit on Cersei. Let's do Cersei, and then I have a couple like lightning round super chats we can get to.
Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. Oh, the people, the two fellas who posted donations
I
without
saw
a
them.
message.
Yeah,
Have you got? Do you remember? Do you know what they are?
I do. They are one was Red Ronnet, and the other I have in my phone screenshot sections, and I'm looking for it now.
Don't worry. As long as you have it down so that
Yeah.
it doesn't get lost in the chat. Okay, perfect.
Great. So Cersei, I feel like, is a very similar placement to Jaime for me. What do you think?
I mean, oh yeah. I mean, we basically just talked about Cersei. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I think she's going to die with Jaime one way or another. Maybe it's the lame show version. Maybe Jaime kills her or witnesses her death or something. But I think Cersei is absolutely toast. She's a true villainess. She has it coming. I don't see how. I don't see where her arc could end. What could she be doing at the end of the saga, alive?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Lady of Casterly Rock?
Yeah, no. Just chilling there, doing nothing. No, I think Cersei is doomed to die. And likely to die. I'm gonna put that at like maximum. To be honest, like, would you agree? There's
Near
no way
maximum.
near maximum. Okay. And then want them to die.
I'd say similar
What are
level
your
to
thoughts?
Jaime, maybe a little more.
A little more. I mean, in terms of, I guess it's kind of. I guess what you're saying is, we want her to die because, you know, and again, narratively satisfying. Also, the character 100% deserves it, and it would be satisfying to read. But at the same time, her chapters are really fun.
Yeah. That's the thing. I
Yeah.
I think my reason for having Cersei further than Jaime is I can see
bit
more
further.
worlds where Jaime being alive is a satisfying end to his arc.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I think Cersei doesn't. You're right. Cersei doesn't 100% have to be dead for her arc to. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So I think I think Cersei I agree with you on. I think she's pretty clearly toast.
Maybe literally, depending on
Maybe.
how things unfold.
Interesting one. Super chat suggestion from JMMND. Jon Snow again, because it is worth noting Jon is currently dead.
It would be hilarious, but no. It would be hilarious, but no.
What if he just dies the
Unless
same way twice?
he just gets like muted, like he comes back and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" and then he like hangs the traitors and everyone's, "We love you, John," and then he like messes up again and then he just gets mutinied again and killed, and then this time the White Walkers resurrect him, so he's a fire and a nice white.
Oh,
Quinn the GM, do you know what happens when you cross a fire white with an ice white?
water white, like
A water
patch
white.
face?
He will become a champion of the drowned god alongside Patchface
And Victarion.
and Victarion, who himself is somewhat a champion of the
Of R'hllor.
Lord of Light,
Yeah.
right? And when he makes it to fight against Long Night as Dany's admiral, he will probably be killed and resurrected by the White Walkers. Boom. Fire and water.
Triple zombie Victarion. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yes.
So
The Water White crew, John, Vicky, and Patchface, and then the drowned god will win the day and flood Westeros.
I think you're right. That's the bittersweet ending. Bittersweet
Yeah.
salt water.
Yeah, yeah, more salt than sweet, but
I think so. In terms of likely to live, likely to die, I think Jon Snow is very likely to live. I think that all five of Martin's core characters tend more likely to live in my eyes.
are we saying Jon Snow, the dead character as of now, is likely to be resurrected, or are we saying Jon Snow, once resurrected, is likely to live for the rest of the series? Which one are we saying?
The latter.
Yeah, I wouldn't say 100% because while he doesn't die in the show, and we do have to take that into account, I could maybe see him at the very end dying for real this time, almost like
Yeah.
a kind of he's not living a real life anymore after being resurrected, and like he has to serve his purpose, and then maybe he does let go. So I'm not gonna put it 100%, but I think he's probably gonna live.
I also think like it could tie in with like the role of magic in the world. That could be a pretty big variable in whether a resurrected Jon can continue to live. Like if when the White Walkers are killed, the dragons start to die off too, and magic begins to fade again, I could see that impacting Jon's survival. But I do agree that I think he is more likely to live, and I think I slightly want him to live. I think that his story could end satisfying either way.
Yes, I think. Oh, yes, slightly want him to live. Um, I will. I'll use my influence to boost that up slightly
Yeah.
more. Um, because in fact, I might even go halfway because I'm basically on the. Oh, no, you're what you said about magic. Like, imagine they like defeat
And then
the
he
White
just
Walkers in the Long Night,
passes.
and magic fades away, and he does like the Thanos, just kind of sitting on the steps, like looking
Hmm.
satisfyingly into the sun, but like he passes away.
Yeah, to make a reference that would make no one angry, like Luke in whichever one that was, The Last Jedi.
I mean, I was trying not to say it. It was in my head. I
Sorry.
was trying not to say it. So, but while that does sound, ooh, you have convinced me. So I'm not gonna. It's not halfway up, just slightly
Yeah,
below halfway. If we mix both of our,
because that could be
um,
cool, right?
that could be cool. And he's like, my work here is done. Um, time to go on to the next life where I belong because I've already lost my life here. Um, especially because he isn't going to be king, in my opinion. So it would be a way of
Agreed.
kind of like, um, okay, so
I think he might be king of the North briefly, but I don't think he'll be king of Westeros.
yes, I like. I mean, the show didn't really delve into exactly what he does beyond like he just rides north, but I think the implication is in the books he will become the king beyond the wall. Oh,
Hmm.
sorry, there won't be a wall anymore, but he'll basically be the king in the north, as in the real north,
I see.
and not. So it will be that he's not king on the Iron Throne because of his bloodline, something as irrelevant as his bloodline. It'll be he's king of the true north because he was chosen, which is how the wildlings do their kings, right?
Hmm.
Which I think is cool, having the whole like secret son of the king and he's the rightful heir to the throne. Why? Because he happens to have the right blood. It's like, no, he's the king of the wildlings because he deserves it because they chose him,
I like
because he
that.
saved them and he saved the realm. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, should we another super chat?
Yes. So another super chat of a viewpoint character before we get into some of the non-viewpoint ones. Alexander Guerrero requested Ario Hota.
Let's go, Ario. Where is he? Where's the boy? I'm going to shift some of the names around, Ario, just so that make sure
Yeah.
your stupid chat box isn't blocking everything.
I think
All right.
Ario might be the closest to dead center for me. I could legitimately see worlds where he survives. I could see him dying a chapter into the Winds of Winter.
Ario just wants to grill, for God's sake. Yeah, I mean, wait, this is a Song of Ice and Fire. Oh, you know what would have been crazy? Imagine we made two of these, and one was Winds and one Dream
Oh
side by
God,
side.
that would be even
If we
more.
wanted a 6 hour live stream. Oh,
Yeah,
now my completionist brain wants to do that now. Yeah.
because that's the thing. Like he's
Huh.
so isolated right now. He's going off to
Yeah.
fight Darkstar, right? And I think that
Yes.
he's not going to die immediately. I think because Martin needs a flex viewpoint in Dorne just in case. Because I think Arianne is obviously going off to the Aegon cause, and I think that is going to end up being something that kind of has its own devoted following. And I think that there are pretty good odds that we'll need eyes either on Old Town or on Sunspear or on the Water Gardens. So my thought is I could see Ario getting like maybe a fake out death or something to that effect, or just like kind of having an ambiguous ending and then popping up again in A Dream of Spring or towards the end of Winds. I don't know. I think he's slightly more likely to live in my eyes. What do you think?
I disagree. I think he's slightly more likely to die simply because George has too many POVs and he said he wants to keep trimming, and Ario really isn't serving much of a purpose.
He's serving a massive purpose. He's the
I
most
can't
important
imagine.
character.
I can't imagine him. I mean, unless like he does whatever he's there for, which I still don't fully understand, and then disappears from the story for the whole thing, but survives, and then like near the end of Dream, it's like, oh, and this is what Ario's up to, by the way. He's been
Yeah.
chilling, but like, I think he's a goner. Like, he's not keeping Aeryo around. He's killing him off to make room for more important
But
characters.
that's also the thing. How does Martin kill off his characters? When does Martin kill off viewpoint characters? Only when other viewpoints are around them, which no one is going to be around Aeryo.
So there's no one there to care.
Yeah, nobody can see it happen.
Just like the reader. We won't care either.
Exactly.
So it's perfect.
You know what I think we should do?
What?
We should put him, like, on the line, like, directly in the center.
I mean... I will say, want them to live, want them to die. I think he does belong in the center, because I don't give a shit either way. If anything, I lean towards to die, because I don't think he's...
I lean towards live.
You just needed one POV indoor, just Arianne, for fuck's sake. Anyway, in terms of, like, he's more like... All right, you say likely to live, I say likely to die. Put him in the middle. The camera that rides belongs there. No, I agree with you. Okay.
Yeah, true neutral. Let's see. Do we want to do some more obscure super chat suggestions?
Let's go for it.
Hyle Hunt from Guess Who? Boomler.
Oh. Cursed. Right. Oh, wait, I've actually got to...
I am of the opinion that Hyle Hunt is already dead.
Wait, well, that's the wrong font. Wait, what fucking font is this?
You just weren't bold. It's the same font, I think.
Ah, there we go. Yeah, this was Boomler, by the way. We had our book signed by George R. R. Martin in Oxford last year, and he asked George to his face, for those who don't know this story, watching this, he asked... No, he didn't ask him. He said, my favourite character is Hyle Hunt. Just as, like, a troll, so... Yeah. God damn, Hyle Hunt now gives me PTSD. Seeing as George didn't even talk to me. Anyway, Hyle Hunt.
Someone in the chat asked, who is that? This is one of the knights who was traveling with Brienne. He was kidnapped by the Brotherhood. As of the last we saw him, he was being hanged by Lady Stoneheart. I think that Brienne has gotten out of that, we know. I think that Hyle probably didn't. I think he's already dead by the time we see Brienne in A Dance with Dragons, if I'm being honest.
Almost as a kind of do as I say, oh no, I'm gonna hang you all, and then Brienne's like, yes, I'll do it, and she's like, and Lady Stoneheart's like, okay, but as a warning shot,
exactly,
I'm hanging him.
And keeping Podrick around and alive, who's also a suggestion. Actually, if you want to bring up Podrick as well, if we want to go through Brienne.
You know what? Is Brienne up here?
Brienne is up there. Let me see who suggested Podrick so I can shout them out.
Brienne is not up there.
That was Lulpy. I forgot Brienne. God damn. I knew I was forgetting somebody.
All right, I'm gonna put them all in a little trio. Hyle Hunt, Brienne, and then who's next?
Pod
the Rod God.
He's like
lowercase because he's young, I guess. Right, cool. So let's start off with Hyle, because obviously that was the super chat. So you think he's already dead then? I think possibly, and even if he does survive, he's probably died. He doesn't serve much of a purpose. No. He very much feels like a gardener character. George was like, let's throw out another traveling companion for Brienne on her journey, and you know, probably didn't necessarily know what was going to happen to him, and then as he went along, he's like, this is what could happen to him. Mm-hmm. So likely to die, very high. Do you want him to die?
No, I mean, I don't. He's near the line for me. I would say I kind of do. I think him dying raises the stakes for Brienne with Stoneheart.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
he is a bit of a cunt.
I don't know. I think likely to die, little bit want them to die.
All right, well, okay. Yeah, there we go. Little bit want them, very likely. So, likely to the point that, like, he may be dead.
He may already be dead.
There we go. Are we going like Cersei level, or should we just go flat out 100% like likely to die?
I think he's good where he is.
All right.
And then I think Podrick, and honestly Brienne to an extent too, I think both of them are very likely to live.
I agree to both. And not just because of the show, I think Brienne's more likely to live than Podrick. I could see
disagree.
Podrick being... Okay. I see Podrick could be like a kind of a tragic death. Because I don't think him living isn't super necessary, and him living in the show I don't think is inherently like proof he'll live. I think it was more they wanted to keep him around and didn't necessarily have a death plan for him. I mean, it could be that George doesn't have a plan for him.
I
I'm
think
sure he's got
it's
lots of characters where he's like, I don't know if they live or die.
yeah.
I'll just see where the story takes me.
That's the character he determined the perfect fate for in 2022. Pod.
Impaled by a rod.
Yeah, I think the thing for me is Pod is just like such like an innocent at this point, and I don't think Martin would really kill him for no reason, especially being so tied to both Brienne and Tyrion.
It wouldn't be for no reason. It would be for that reason because he's an innocent. It would be a way to either establish another character's villainy and lack of redemption, maybe, or it could also be something that influences Brienne. If he were to die, it would be linked to Brienne. It would be something that affects her character. So I could see Lady Stoneheart potentially even killing him, and that impacting Brienne in some way. Maybe she becomes a bit more jaded, a bit more cynical, but is still able to hold on to her virtuous ideals and chivalry.
The thing for me is I think Martin needs as much connective tissue between viewpoint characters as possible going into these last couple books. Because we're going to have so many viewpoints who have never met interacting for the first time. And I think Podrick is an interesting point in that he has interacted with a lot of people, and most notably Brienne and Tyrion. I think that could be kind of interesting in terms of providing information to either of them if they're on either side of a conflict. I would agree. I think both of them are upper left quadrant, but I would say Brienne is probably slightly higher than Podrick. Just because she is an important character.
Yeah, in terms of, so likely to live.
I would put Brienne even a little further on likely to live.
I agree. I think she's almost 100%, but you're saying more like 95, so we'll put her back a little bit.
Yeah.
And then want them to live. Where are you at that in terms of?
Brienne honestly would be like high as high can go for me.
Yeah, agree. I think I can't really. I think it.
I didn't even think we could go that high, but I'm good with it.
There we go. So there we go. And then Podrick, want them to live. I assume we're both at the very top, right?
Yeah, and then I'd say
slightly less likely to live than Brienne.
Yeah, I'd say under the purple text so people can read it. But
yeah, there we go.
Yeah, good. Beyond that, let's see what else we got. Do you want to just pick a name from the list for the brief moment here?
Yeah, sure. My eyes fell on Samwell.
Okay, I think he's in a similar camp to Brienne to me.
Yeah, that was the most boring person I could have picked in retrospect.
Yeah, he's. I think he's gonna live.
I want him to live, and George's insert will live.
Yeah,
he lives in the show. I think he's like Brienne levels of going to live. If I'm being honest.
Agreed. I want him to live slightly less
because
I like his chapters less, but.
I would say he's likely to live more than Brienne. Actually,
really,
I think he's like a guarantee. Yeah, I think Brienne's like 95. I think Sam's like 100.
I think for me, both of those characters, the only way they are going to die is if they get killed off to cause development for Jon or Jaime, neither of which I would like.
So let's put him under Brienne.
Yeah.
Because you prefer Brienne's chapters, and I agree, Sam is very... I need his character to turn around in quite a dramatic way to actually want to read his chapters, because I've said before how frustrated I am with his seeming lack of development, especially compared to the show. The show did a great job with Sam, apart from the very end, and the books are making him very annoying and unlikable, specifically in in Feast. Wait, no. In Dance or Feast?
In Feast.
Feast.
Sam is not in Dance.
Cool.
We actually have a related thought to something we just talked about in a super chat, so I'll read that off now. From Bartleby Scrivener, I love your name. Mayhaps Jaime and Brienne spare someone during the second Red Wedding, and Stoneheart kills Podrick as punishment. No good deed. That's an interesting thought.
I like that.
That's very Martin. I could see that happening.
I'm more and more convinced second Red Wedding will happen, or something of that scale or brutality. And the big part of it is because I am working on many videos, but I'm working on a Hound video, the real Hound, and in it, of course, I'll talk about the three different hounds that appear in the books. There's Sandal, but then there's also Rorge and Lem Lemoncloak, worst name in Song of Ice and Fire. Maybe other than Delp. But I think I take that back. I love Delp. But no, I think yeah, I think for the arc of the increasingly mythologized character that is the Hound, not Sandor, but the Hound.
Hmm.
I think Lem is going to be part of something very brutal. Like if you're upgrading from Sandor to Rorge to Lem, like
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
you have the outlaw, the deserter, who then becomes the guy who raids the salt pans. It needs to get even bigger, and I think that would have to be something similar to the Red Wedding. It's like, oh, look, the Hound conducted this vile massacre at this wedding. Like the legend of the Hound continues to
I
grow.
bet you're
This
right.
snarling, this personification of violence. Um,
That's such a good. I love that analysis. I'm looking forward to that video.
Hell yeah.
Do you want?
Art is done. Script is nearly done.
Ooh.
Watch out, fellas. Watch out for it.
How about I throw three very unrelated characters at you from super chats?
Go for it. Surprise me.
So, first up, from a channel of Ice and Fire, thank you very much. Great channel. Hey guys, taking a break from recording my own video,
Ah.
and you guys are a good distraction. And for my suggestion, Wyman Manderly.
Ooh. Okay.
In addition,
I mean,
from one of my
I mean,
patrons, Zitrone, I've never quite known how to pronounce that, Randall Tarly for me, and Red Ronnet for InGen.
ooh.
Yeah. And then I'll just throw in another while we're doing kind of a lightning round. Pioneer 10 also suggests Sir Harris Harlaw, the Knight of Grey Garden, Lord of Grey Shield, Harris the Heir, Knight of Harlaw Isle, Champion of Asha Greyjoy.
Uh, Extremely based. Okay, we're gonna start off with Wyman Manderly
Because I
then.
think he's in an interesting spot right now.
Yes, he is. So I mean, I thought he was already dead. When I
Oh
no,
yeah,
not
because he
already
gets his
dead. But
throat cut, doesn't he?
When I read that page, I was like, damn, rest in peace to a real one. Like that's the end. That's the end of Wyman. And then they're like, oh, he survived because he's so fat. The sword didn't cleave through. Like it didn't cleave through enough to get his throat. It just like got his neck, his three chins. Like what the fuck? That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But is he gonna die? My guess is I think he's doomed.
I think he's mega dead, yeah.
Yeah. But the question is he dying before Stannis liberates Winterfell, which I think he will, or as in I think Stannis will, or is he going to die later down the line after he gets to do some political maneuvering and unfurling whatever plots he had that involved Stark?
I think
What do you
he's
think?
going to survive a little longer, in my opinion, because I think that he is too fun and interesting of a political player. And I think that his being alive really complicates the situation in Winterfell, especially if a video I'm currently working on that's a ways away is about the Stark succession crisis in the Winds of Winter, because there are so many different Starks just out in the world, and a lot of what's going to happen is going to depend on the order in which people arrive. And I think Rickon is an important player because he has a fairly good claim to the castle, but one that could be overridden by, say, Robb's will or news of Bran's survival. And I think that having Wyman Manderly fully on Rickon's side is super interesting. But with that said, I think he is very likely to die at some point in the series. I don't think he survives a long night if he gets that far. I think for me, he is our first addition to the upper right quadrant, but further to the right than he is up.
Yes, we needed to fill out some of the others. So yeah, he's not making it to the long night as far as and oh god, he's a bit too small that guy. Yeah, no, I agree. I think either he is dying before Stannis takes Winterfell, like either killed by the Boltons or reveals his machinations and kind of kamikaze, knows he's going out, or maybe he's executed by Stannis. And maybe he does some political maneuvering and ousts Stannis, but I don't know. Yeah, he's doomed. I
Yes.
agree. I want him to live. How likely is he to die? I think he's like.
Jamie
I think this
tier.
is like Jamie tier. Did you say?
Yeah, I think he's about in line with that.
I think he might be. I think he's closer to like guaranteed.
Hmm. I'd
There's
be okay
something
with
about the
nudging
fact
a
that
little
he has
further.
a son and two granddaughters that are like very interesting characters. I kind of feel like he will die and they will step up and they will. I can't see him live. Oh no
I could
no
see
no!
that.
I don't want to completely. I could see George maybe planning to kill him, but holding on to him because he's
Because he's
so
just so fun.
likable. A bit like Victarion, right? The original plan
Yes.
was to kill him. It could be that maybe there's one draft like where Hostine does kill him, But then he changed it because it was like, I like Wyman too much. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna keep him with Jaime. And then
Yeah.
how much do we want him to live?
I'd say higher than you have him, and while you
Yes,
decide
that
on
was
exactly how high, Bartleby Scrivener has another fun comment, which is a theory that I've seen a while ago, but I don't quite remember the details of. Bartleby Scrivener says, "Have you guys heard the interesting nerd club's Wyman fat suit theory that basically suggests that Wyman is wearing a fat suit and pulling an Uncle Iroh?"
I haven't watched that one, no.
I think I watched it, but I don't quite remember the whole map. But I remember really liking the thought, just because I love Iroh.
Yeah, can you imagine?
That'd be pretty good. But also, like, I think Martin wants the image of this Lord Too Fat to Sit a Horse to be real.
I mean, maybe it is, or maybe it's not a fat suit. Maybe he's just, while injured, he's just gonna be chilling in his bedroom while like the siege is going on, and he just starts working out, doing pull-ups, doing setups. Next, you know, he's walking out like The Rock.
It's a great idea.
And just like,
so
yeah, I put Wyman there. I haven't put him at 100%.
I'm good
because
with that.
If you could give me a satisfying death with that character, with that dramatic character, that would be fun.
Agreed.
But then, so let's.
Yeah, go ahead.
Shall we move on to
Red
Randall
Ronnet?
Tarly, rapid fire? We do Red Ronnet.
Either way, I was just gonna say Red Ronnet can be pretty quick because I'm pretty sure he's gonna die.
Yes, he is dying facing young Griff in.
Yes.
However it happens, whether it's the Battle of Steel, whether it's, you know, my video talking about how inspired by Brynden B. Fisher's essay, where they say there's going to be a potential Battle of Agincourt influence, where it's going to be the Golden Company basically staying back and letting the chivalrous armies of the Reach charge in on horseback, get stuck in the mud and the rain, and get destroyed by the archers of Black Balak and so on. And Red Ronnet could be part of that group and could just be completely annihilated, or more satisfyingly, perhaps even killed by Jon Con. Oh, that would be kinslaying though, so that wouldn't necessarily. Yeah. I think he's doomed. And even if he does survive going up against young Griff, if he is kept around, he's just one of those characters where like you just know he's gonna die. Like
because he's an
like,
asshole.
He just isn't gonna. Yeah, exactly. Like what reason would there? Yeah.
He's pretty far on the want them to die. One of my patrons has a lot of excellent theories about him and the role he could play in the story going forward, with Cersei being a parallel to maybe the Mad King's Hand, Connington. But I think him riding down to meet the Golden Company in Arianne's second sample chapter does sort of negate those ideas, as fun as they are. I think he might honestly be further to both than Cersei for me.
Okay. Well, you want him to die more than Cersei? Well, I guess he's not. Cersei's fun to read about. Ronnet is just. An asshole.
I want him to die more than Cersei. I think I maybe think he's less likely to die than Cersei.
I feel like he's one of our rare guaranteed deaths.
That's fair.
No, he's not guaranteed, is he? He's not guaranteed.
I was gonna say Cersei is a death that I think is narratively important, whereas I could see Ronnet, getting forgotten about and skating by.
Yeah, I'll put him behind Cersei, but he's further down want to die because he's not fun to read about. He's just a dick.
Yeah. Speaking of,
this quadrant needed to be more complex. We needed more. We needed want them to die, brackets for narrative purpose, and then want them to die because of who they are as a character.
We'll do that next time.
Okay, yes. Speaking of excuse me.
The worst character. Genuinely, like, I always forget how much I dislike him until I read A Feast for Crows. Like, hearing Brienne interact with him and Sam's memories, it's pretty rough.
He's such a dick. The way he's described in that first book by Sam, it's almost a bit too much for me. It's almost too cartoonishly nasty. Like the whole bathing him in blood and having warlocks of Karth, bless him. Like
I forgot. Wait, what the fuck? What?
Sam was like, I'm a coward, and he tried to, whip me into shape, and he shouted at me when I did nerdy stuff, and he sent me off to the Night's Watch because he didn't want me to be a pussy maester, etc. But there's one bit when he says, "Yeah, my father made me go in a bath of blood, of like ox blood, while warlocks of Karth blessed me so that I'd be more courageous," and it didn't work, and he got mad.
Or did it?
Maybe.
I think
maybe he is blessed. and maybe
He
his arrow will
so
also be blessed.
we
But he
want him
shoots
to
Euron in
die.
the eye in a battle of blood. Wait, hold on a sec. Can we just go? The point I'm making is, I think it's kind of a bit. Randall having his son bathe in blood and be blessed by the Warlocks of Cart, that's like first book weirdness right there.
Yes.
I can't imagine Feast for Crows Randall being like, oh, my son is a pussy. I'm gonna have
I'm gonna
foreign
get some
warlocks bless
wizards.
him. Yeah, like, wait, what? Like, I'm gonna have him bathe in blood while warlock, like, huh?
Yeah, because
That makes
the
that,
thing
yeah.
that always sticks out to me from Feast of Sam's memories is like him saying he wanted to be a maester, and then his dad saying, "Oh, so you want to wear a chain? I'll lock you in the dungeon for weeks." That feels more on brand for me for
Yeah, then
Randall.
the. But yeah, I remember reading that at the time. I was like, oh, this is crazy. But like looking back, I'm like, I feel like it's almost too. I feel maybe the character would be more effective the way Sam describes him if it was a bit more realistically abusive.
Hmm.
I think maybe George went a bit too far and almost like lessens the impact because it becomes a bit goofy with the whole bloodbath thing. But yes, want him to die. Yes, he absolutely deserves it, and I think he could have. Yeah, he deserves it. How far down are we going?
Uh, I'd say around where Red Ronnet is.
Yeah, I don't go too far down because you have people like Ramsay.
Yes.
Randall Tarly's not quite Ramsay, but yeah. And then in terms of likely to live, I think he's probably toast, but not
I think
guaranteed.
he's on the likely to die side. I think he's further to the left than anyone we've done so far, though.
Yes, I agree, but just about.
Yeah, because I think his allegiance is something that's so up in the air right now. It'll fully depend on who he sides with in the wars to come.
Yeah.
Like, he's a Targaryen loyalist. If he sticks with Aegon, he's probably toast. If he ends up backing Daenerys, there's a world where I could see him living.
Shall we do the last of this little spate of super chats?
Yes, actually, we do have one more minor character from Super Chat that I could also throw in, that being from
Let's do it.
Shiera Blackwood asking about Tyene Sand and a certain
Wooga.
descriptor from the show.
Um.
So let's do the
Oh,
knight first.
what's the meme? What's the meme? Oh, what's the thing for my video, for my Sansa video? What do I call Tyene?
I have no memory of that.
Substandard cat. That's the one.
Ah,
You
oh
need the
yeah,
good.
there you go.
You want the good girl, but you need the substandard cat. Right. Yes. So let's start off with Sir Harris Harlaw, the Knight of Grey Garden and the Lord of Grey Shield.
I'm gonna let you take that one.
Okay. Yeah. So yes, I spoke about him in my Euron videos. Yes, Harris Harlaw. He's called the Knight because obviously barely anyone on the Iron Islands are knights because they don't follow the faith of the Seven. Harris Harlaw does because he was sent over to Old Town as a hostage following the Greyjoy Rebellion, and he grew up in the faith of the Seven basically, and he just converted. And then when he came back, he was like, "Hey, I'm a knight. Deal with it." And he's a Knight of Grey Garden because he's one of the many branches of Harlaw, and so he has his own plot of land. Euron makes him the Lord of Grey Shield, and he does so intentionally because Euron wants to give a bunch of his political opponents slash people who supported his political opponents the Shield Islands after he conquers them. One, because it makes him come across as generous and open-handed, and the people respect him more. But two, because he thinks they're guaranteed to lose the islands, and then they can be blamed for it. So I could see a situation where the Reach takes those islands back, and Harris Harlaw is slain during that process. But there's a part of me that's like he could live for
Yeah, I think he's
a
near
little
the
while longer
middle
at
for
least
me.
specifically because he has a Valyrian steel sword, and
Oh,
I kind
which
of feel like
one?
everyone Nightfall.
Mm.
I feel like everyone with a Valyrian steel sword, like I feel like it's a waste if they just die and the sword disappears because there's so few of them. Wait, let me trim down the name.
I
Someone
could
could
also
actually fill him.
see him dying and the Valyrian steel sword passing to a Reach house who then uses it against the others.
That's true. That's
Like the
true. And it
Tyrells,
just in
maybe?
terms of the Ironborn just feel kind of fucked in general.
Yeah.
Like whether it's they die due to Euron's insanity or whatever. I think Harris Harlaw is likely to die. More likely than not, but it's not super solid. Like it's like a maybe,
Yeah.
because he's not that big of a character. In terms of want them, I'm probably in the middle. Like, he's just a guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good with that placement.
Yeah, okay. And then the final minor character, we have Tyene Sand. Um,
We've been called uncultured in another super chat from CS Paffy.
oh.
You two are so uncultured. Obviously, the perfect ending Martin thought up for Jaime is going to be Jaime Hand of the King to Bran.
Ooh.
I like that idea, actually. That's pretty good.
The Golden Hand, Jaime Golden Hand. Because he's a Lannister hand, he's a Golden Hand.
I could see it.
I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to that. That would be very interesting. But there is a part of me that thinks, would that not have just been the ending of the show then?
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Like, why would they not do that?
If there was a way to save Jaime, they would have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, Tyene Sand.
Yes, Tyene Sand. Okay, so Tyene Sand, one of the Sand Snakes, she's currently disguised as a Scepter.
That's it. I couldn't remember if she was Septa or Small Council.
She's Scepter. Yeah, she was inspired by Rhaenyra in season 2 of Hot D. She disguised herself as a Scepter to sneak into King's Landing. But she's not catching up with an old friend. She's basically just going to spy on the Faith and the High Sparrow and report back to Duran and, basically what's the situation going on, right? Nymeria's going to be in the Small Council. Tyene will be in the Great Sept of Baelor, and they'll be letting Duran know what's happening. I kind of think all the Sand Snakes are fucked.
I think
if we're going
I don't think all of them are. I think that the three that are scheming with Duran are like mega doomed. I think Elia Sand, who is with Arianne, is probably doomed. I think Alaras is probably going to be fine, and I think the other younger ones are probably going to be fine.
Yeah.
But I also think the Faith is also kind of doomed, so I think that Tyene is kind of double doomed.
Well, another thing is that the Sand Snakes are just like motivated by revenge. They're these much like their father. They are ruthless vipers motivated by revenge, and just like Oberyn, it's going to be the death of them. It's going to lead to their destruction. Vengeance is destructive to those around it and those causing it. So yeah, I think if Tyene is part of that vengeful trio, she is dying just like Obara is guaranteed to die, Nymeria is guaranteed to die, and Oberyn did die. I think Tyene is absolutely screwed. Maybe she gets found out and killed by the Faith. Maybe she gets found out and killed by Cersei. Maybe Cersei blows up the Sept and she's in it. She's.
Have you heard my favorite possibility on her death?
No.
Which is that Cersei's trial, right? It's going to be a trial by combat, probably. It might be a trial of 7, which would be a great way to like step things up from the last one. I could see Tyene being named as one of the Faith's champions in that case.
Wait, what?
Wanting to fight the Mountain like her father did.
On one hand, absolutely she would want to do that if she thought she could.
But I'm not sure if the High Sparrow would let her. Yeah.
In no universe would the High Sparrow let a damn woman fight against the Mountain.
Other Sand Snakes have disguised themselves as men before.
I don't know if Tyene can get away with it, bro.
Me neither. But I think she's in the
hot blonde
upper right corner to me. Or not upper right, but like in the right quadrant.
Likely to die. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, in terms of the Sand Snakes, want them to live, and I want them to live and get up to schemy stuff. But I do kind of want the main 3 to die.
Yeah.
Just because I think it really fits the whole the theme of the destructiveness of vengeance. So I want her to die because narratively it would be satisfying. Like
maybe that
but I want her to last to do cool stuff, but ultimately I don't want her to just and then she lives at the end. Like I do actually want her to die.
I would agree. I'd put her maybe in that little space between Harlaw and Hyle Hunt there, if you can shrink her name a little bit.
But in terms of likely to die, like in the middling, I guess.
Yeah, I would say.
Kind of. Yeah, because she could survive. She could. It's not guaranteed, but I think it would.
Yeah. Moving from there, you want to pull up Daenerys?
I are we going for someone nice and easy then?
Because
Daenerys. There
we
we
have a
go.
couple super chats surrounding that. Small U has suggested Missandei, and Blackstoned has suggested Ser Jorah.
Ooh,
So we got a triple threat here.
Khaleesi.
I
All right.
think if we're starting with let's start with the other two, and then let's get to Daenerys. 'Cause I think she's the bigger discussion. Um,
Yeah.
Missandei, I think, is very likely to live. Right?
I have this sneaking suspicion. Sorry to interrupt. I do have a sneaking suspicion that she's going to get beheaded by the mountain.
Of course, of course. No, I mean her being like 11 or 12 in the books, and I can't really see her being anywhere near danger. I could see other people being killed to motivate Daenerys in the future. I don't think that's going to be Missandei in the books. I think she's near Jon Snow territory for me in terms of her placement. What do you think?
I think she could easily be killed off to motivate Daenerys or to affect Daenerys's arc in some way. Easily.
Mm-hmm.
Just because she's a kid, nah, I could see her getting
But that's the
her
thing. That
being
role is already
one
taken.
of the straws
That role is
by
absolutely going to be taken in the Winds of Winter, though.
by who?
The Shape Bait's going to kill the 100 child hostages as soon as
That
Barristan
is
leaves the walls.
that's a very good point. That is a very good point.
So I feel like
Maybe
Missandei
he will also
dying.
kill, but maybe he's also going to kill Missandei because that personalizes it for the reader as well. Because otherwise, it's 100 children isn't good, but we don't know the 100 children. But if you have a character that we like as a reader, then it hits home for us.
I don't know. I think 100 children is impactful enough. And I also
If you
think
don't know them,
Missandei is in a position where she's maybe a little more protected, especially given the fact that, like, she's been helping the injured, and at this point, you know who is injured and recovering, who could protect her and would love to protect her?
who?
Strong Belwas.
Oh, now that is a fun father-daughter dynamic I haven't thought about.
Yeah, I think Missandei, I think she's slightly below Jon Snow, because I could see a world where she dies being more likely than Jon Snow dying. But I think she's further on the, or I've mixed up my axes. I think she's around Jon Snow's left to right, but further up for me.
Can you imagine Missandei and Strong Bawas going on Hound Arya style adventures?
I would read that book. Dunk an egg, but it's Belwas and Missandei.
Missy and Belle.
Yeah.
Belle and Missy. All right. So where's she going? Sorry.
I'd say
What did you say?
just above Jon Snow for me.
Just above Jon Snow.
Maybe a
so
little further to the right than Jon Snow.
yeah, likely to live. I agree with you. She is more likely, but yeah, I do chance. And then want her to live? Yeah, because she's just a kid. I'm not super attached to her like Podrick necessarily, but you know, she's a nice kid.
Do you think she's a faceless
Here's the
man?
thing. I know you said that like 100 kids would be impactful with the reader, but here's the thing, Quinn. One kid's death is a tragedy. 100 kids' death is a statistic. You know who said that?
I don't.
Brienne.
Oh, really?
It
I
was
must have missed that chapter.
No, it was actually Stalin. One death is a statistic. A thousand is a. Oh no, sorry. One death is a tragedy. 1,000 is a statistic or something.
I see.
But I said
Brienne,
Brienne
Stalin,
because
similar.
she's in the right place in the quadrant.
Yeah.
This is. Can we talk about how crazy of a political compass?
Yeah, really. I think so. If we're hitting Jorah next, he might be the
Yes.
furthest on the "I want them to die" we've done so far.
Hyle Wyman. Yes. Jorah does. Yeah, Jorah's a piece of shit. He is going through the ringer right now. He's
Yeah.
being beaten to shit. He's a slave. He's got a demon tattooed on his face. It's kind of badass. Someone in the chat's pointing out that's a fake Stalin quote. Yes, I did mean to add that is Miss Stalin. He didn't.
I was
actually
gonna say I taught
But
history and didn't remember that.
it's a famous quote, but it's misattributed. But anyway, yes, Jorah. I think Jorah does deserve it. He's a kind of just a moany bastard, and he's a complete creep. And I think I'm trying to. What is his role? Where is he going beyond?
Great question.
Yes,
I have no
I-
clue whatsoever.
I think going along with what I often say, we both talked about this about Daenerys starting off as, hey, it's the hero origin story, and as we go on, you realize she just surrounded by just like the worst
Yeah.
dregs of humanity and just the weirdest people. The crazy volcano-handed
Hmm.
pirate admiral,
Who we'll get to.
evil murderous imp. Uh, who else would be on her shoulder if not like a big creepy exiled knight who has a demon tattooed on his face? Like I think he's just assembling an evil legion around
Yeah. She's got
Daenerys,
the
kind of.
Sinister
So, like,
Six.
yes, but I think he's absolutely. There's no way he's living. I know there are some theories. Remember before the last season of Game of Thrones, that like Jorah. I swear, there's like a solid 5 or 6
Oh, that he was
characters
Azor
that
Ahai. Yeah.
I wasn't actually going to say that, but like that was a theory, but I never bought into that for a second.
Same.
But it's more that X character will survive and end up in the Night's Watch by the end of the series. Is people say it about Jaime, they say about Stannis, and one of the people they say about Tyrion even. One of the people they said about was Jorah. And what's interesting, by the way, is unless I've misheard this, misremembering this, Jorah was supposed to survive season 8 of Game of Thrones.
What?
The last shot was meant to be Jon Snow, Tormund, and Jorah riding off beyond the wall together, but
Then
then they decided to kill Jorah during the long night because I don't think enough people died. But that could imply that maybe Jorah does live and in some way takes after his father and leads the new Night's Watch or goes beyond
that's
or
also
something like that.
that is Jeor's last wish. Remember in Sam, I want to say 3, A Storm of Swords. I believe that's the mutiny. Um, he wants he wants Sam to tell Jorah to join the Night's Watch. So I could see a world where he lives genuinely.
Yes, me too. Although again, the issue with all of these Night's Watch theories is why would it still exist when the wall
Just
basically doesn't
tradition.
exist? Yeah, I guess.
I think
If it could be reforged into something else.
in retrospect, I think that Red Ronnet might be a little too low on the want them to die. I would move him up between Jaime and Cersei. And I think
Yeah,
that
we're being very harsh considering his biggest crime is just being sexist.
he deserves death. But I think Jorah is our first addition to bottom left because I think he's ever so slightly more likely to live.
um, Bottom left. I I I I I don't agree. I think he's more likely to die than live.
Hmm.
I think he's not. Well, I think because of the whole Geor thing and what I just said about the show, I do think that pushes him further to the center without question. I think there is a possibility that he will live on and in this kind of like this kind of this this rugged lonely character living on in some kind of silent servitude. But I think it is more likely he died. Um, so I'm not. I don't want to. For me, he's in this quadrant.
Yeah. Okay. I'll agree
I
with
don't.
that. I think maybe just put him where the graphic had previously been for I want them to die, which I moved out of the way for his sake.
Oh damn! Oh, you want him to die more than everyone. Okay, I'll put him there for you. I don't hate him as much as you. He is a piece of shit. Um,
He might be my
and
least
then
favorite character.
I guess kind of. I think I'm gonna put him like proper right of center because of what we talked about.
Yeah.
He's slightly more likely to die, but like I could see him living in something related. So it's funny you're saying Jorah's favorite character
He's
in
up
terms
there.
of.
He's one of my least favorites.
It's funny because I feel similarly about another person who Daenerys, that being Dario.
Oh, I don't really give much
and
of
uh,
a shit about Dario.
and I I don't even know if I even still feel this now, but when I first read the books, I hated Dario.
Really?
I hated him. Oh, I despised him. I
Huh.
hated this wannabe cool guy who kept who's smashing this literal child to Daenerys. It pissed me off so much. Oh, I hated it, and I hated how much Daenerys liked him. Oh, I just developed this. I hated him more than like Joffrey. I
Really?
despised
That's
Dario
bizarre.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted him to die.
But I think one of the characters who's going to be more interesting to discuss here is Daenerys, because she is one of Martin's core 5 characters. She's been such a massive part of the series since the very beginning. Obviously, her death was one of the most visible and most hated parts of the show.
Yes. Very, very controversial to say the least.
What do you think is going to happen to... I see you there.
Wait, what? I didn't do
Um,
anything. Just wait till I visit America.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, Daenerys. I think Daenerys is a guaranteed death.
Really?
And I mean, looking at the show, in no universe is she not
Well, they said they
destined
made
to
that up,
die?
didn't they?
They made up Daenerys' death?
Yes.
Did they? Is that what they made up?
David and Dan said that they like came up with the idea of Jon killing Daenerys at a certain point.
Okay.
Yeah,
But does that
I
mean,
don't think
does
it's
that mean,
I don't think it's
does
like
that mean,
impossible in the text. I could see worlds where that happens, but it's not a note from Martin.
but maybe the note from Martin was, oh, Daenerys dies at the end after going crazy, and he's like, how? And he's like, I don't know. And let's make it Jon. Let's do a love thing and make it Jon. But it'll be weird if his note was, oh, Daenerys survives at the end. I'd be very surprised if D&D were like, let's kill her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Man,
man,
she's upper half for me. I obviously want her to live.
oh, I'm so tired of Daenerys discourse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm on
All
Twitter.
the guesswork about what she's gonna do. Oh, okay. So narratively, I mean, it depends. It's so much of it. She's in such a state of limbo.
Yeah.
But by the end of Dawn, she's in a state. You know what I mean? Like she's at a crossroads. There are
Yeah.
different directions her character could go down. And
Daenerys 10 is like a cocoon, effectively.
yes, and I need to know what kind of butterfly she's going to turn into. Like it's
A
hard to
toxic butterfly?
really. Oh man,
Beware those.
shout out to Grey Worm.
What?
Speaking of Grey Worm,
Oh,
we
I
should
was
add
talking about
him.
Martin's blog post.
Oh right, yes. Oh, you weren't talking about Davos's attempt
No,
to
not
genocide
going to
Manderly?
I forgot about that.
Davos, the mass murderer.
Yeah. Oh, Bartleby
I-
Scribner has another super chat, which you'll agree with, saying Dario's like your sister's first D-bag boyfriend.
Yeah, he is. He just rubs me up the wrong way so much. Maybe teenage me was just jealous of his riz and his golden moustache.
That seems accurate. I think
If Winds comes out, I'm dyeing my hair blue like Dario and my moustache gold.
it's
like
better than
Dario
eating
once
it.
I grow a moustache. Better than eating it, yeah. I won't die.
I think I agree with you where I think that of Martin's five like main characters from the original outline or whatever, I think Daenerys is the most likely to die, by a pretty decent margin.
But not guaranteed, because
No.
it could be that D&D were just coming up with their own thing fully, and Daenerys could have a different I can't. What's an ending for her? Is it death though? Because she's not ruling. Like she's not ending the series ruling Westeros.
No, I think.
But what else would she do when she has dragons? Just chilling?
Well, I think her dragons might all die. I think the dragons are going to be either dead or gone by the end of the series. I think that, I mean, Daenerys' ideal ending we hear about time and time again, especially in like A Dance with Dragons, the house with the red door. She just wants home at a point. I think that
She might just retire.
she could just go somewhere she feels she belongs finally after going through so much.
Like what's his name? Bilbo.
Yeah, exactly.
Going
Somebody
off with the elf.
Frodo as well. Yeah.
Oh yes, Frodo and Bilbo. Although I suspect the Frodo and Bilbo parallel will be Jon Snow riding up north with some allies in the Wildlings.
There could be more than one though.
That's true. Okay, likely to die. I think we both think likely, but she's not all the way at the end because you've convinced me there's a chance she could.
I'd say like middle of that quadrant and pretty high.
Middle.
I'd say a little higher than Wyman for me.
Oh yeah. I haven't actually discussed whether I want her to live or not. Again, the wanting to live. That's not her final placement. I'm just thinking wanting to live. I don't know. Again, it depends on how it's done. If it's done well, sure. I do like Daenerys a lot as a character, and I guess it's hard to think about the book character or the show version always coming into my head. Yeah, reading the books of the first 5 books, I want her to live. She's cool. I want her to live. I agree with you.
And it's also
I
like
don't want her to...
my big thing is for a character to have grown and suffered this much,
and then just
end in just death or getting old Yellard like for nothing. It's, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think again, I'm letting the show in based on the books, based on where I was when I finished Dance. Yes, I very much want her
Yeah.
to live. She's cool. Um,
Let's see. What else we
okay,
got? Oh, actually, great one. We have a super chat from 84th Bandwagon. Is Aegon the Sixth slash Fagon going to make it? Let's do Aegon and John Connington.
let's go.
So John Connington is furthest on likely to die, right?
Ah, sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing.
No, you're good. Because he's already contracted a fatal disease that has no cure unless the show is correct.
Oh, John Con is the furthest right of anyone. I mean,
Yeah.
he's Mussolini up in it. Oh, to be fair though, he could meet Samwell, and then Samwell could do what's never been tried before, which is remove the grayscale and add ointment.
I think the thing that people often suggest is that he's going to get his hand cut off in the Battle of Steel as like a way to cure him, but I don't think that would be I don't think he would cure him.
Yeah, no, that would make the grayscale a lame device to just have him rush.
Yeah.
Oh, quick! I need him to rush to go to Westeros. Grayscale. Okay, no more grayscale. Okay, it would feel like a.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's doomed to die. He probably won't even die of grayscale, but he can't live
He'll
because of
explode.
grayscale.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will blow. So I'm putting him all the way here, boy.
And then further up, as high as it can go.
And then probably down here, right?
As high as it can go.
Because he's boring. I don't want to read any more of his chapters. There we go. Honestly, we might have to be here just to suit both of us. No. Do I want him to live? If I'm being honest, I don't think I genuinely don't care either way. I'm in. So if you want him to, I'll lift him, but we'll have to compromise halfway between.
Yeah, I'd say maybe halfway up. Because I think him dying does make sense for the character. It, I think, would conclude his arc well, and I think that unlike Daenerys, this is a character who is, I think, going to end in death, and despite having suffered a lot, it's definitely kind of by his own hand in that he's been completely reckless and done everything.
Yeah, he's cooked.
Probably literally.
That
Do you want to get
wildfire
started
boy
talking
who
about
knows.
Aegon? I'm going to step away for 1 second.
Right, yes, Aegon the Sixth, young Griff. I think Aegon is absolutely 100% doomed. I think he's Jon Snow, everyone. There's no way that there's a claimant to the throne coming in this late into the series who potentially is a Blackfire pretender, probably going to challenge Daenerys' claim. No way is he living. There's no way a pretender to the throne is coming in and surviving when we've been following Daenerys' story and Jon Snow's story. Like, no. Aegon the Sixth is a doomed character. How could it be he fails in conquering the South? Maybe he goes up against the evil duo of Cersei and Euron working together, and he gets destroyed by them. Right, they're like the threat in the South that Jon and Daenerys have to deal with after the White Walkers, scouring of the Shire situation. Or maybe he's killed by Daenerys. Maybe, he takes the South, he's a handsome, charming king, and everyone loves him, and the cycle continues, and then Daenerys breaks the cycle, breaks the wheel by saying, no, fuck you, and then destroys him, destroys King's Landing, like how she destroyed King's Landing and Cersei in the show, but maybe Aegon's the victim. Either way, I think he is guaranteed. I think he is Jon Con levels of gonna die.
I don't think he's quite Jon Con levels, but he's pretty far.
But I mean, in the sense that Jon
Connington has a fatal disease.
He has an incurable disease. I will grant you that. He is not quite Jon. He's very close. He is. There's no way he's surviving, I think. So that. Let me think. Okay, in terms of want to die, I've got nothing against Aegon. In terms of I think he's a cool character. If I'm being honest. Is it narratively satisfying if he dies? It depends.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm kind of in the middle for Aegon. Like
he's near the middle for me too.
In terms of want, like I don't really one way or the other. I don't care that much because you don't know much about him as a character. I want to see him do more stuff.
Yeah.
And there's obviously I want him to succeed against Cersei. Like I'm rooting for. In terms of the entire saga, I'm kind of middling.
I think
so.
I think very slightly above likely or want to live, and then maybe a little less far than you currently have him. So like Hyle Hunt is probably already dead.
That's a good point. Hyle Hunt might already be dead, and yet he's less doomed than Jon Connington.
That is correct.
But that's because Hyle Hunt isn't guaranteed.
Yeah, Hyle Hunt might be dead now. Jon Connington is definitely dead at some point in the next 2 years.
Again, unless Samwell cracks the code and does what maces haven't done for centuries, which is cut the scales off and add cream. Add some aloe vera. He literally just cut. He was like, "Oh, no one's tried this because it's risky," and he just takes them off and then adds fucking aloe vera. Like, no one tried this. No one tried this on a. No, really.
2 more completely unrelated names that we should discuss, both of whom I think are pretty interesting. Capybaras on Computers, excellent name, suggests Thoros of Myr, and Tyr the Cruel suggests the Moon Boy. And while you're pulling those up, we also have a chat from Callum Doyer, thank you, who says, picked up a Game of Thrones and I'm loving it. Got a good feeling about Ned and I can't wait for him and Jon to meet up again. What do you think? I'm excited for you to get to experience the future of the series, and I appreciate your optimism.
Godspeed.
Yeah. Let's see. So what do you think? Thoros is an interesting one. Because right now he's like super goddamn depressed. Because he's obviously like a practitioner of the Lord of Light. He brought Beric back so many times. But then Beric brought Stoneheart back, and Stoneheart is a murder robot. And he doesn't really like that, and he's just really sad in Brienne's chapters of A Feast for Crows. He, I believe, is still with the Stoneheart contingent of the Brotherhood. But he doesn't seem like a character who particularly wants to live at present. What do you think?
Yeah, he's quite... If I'm being honest, I don't even know why he's still with the Stoneheart faction.
Yeah, because there's the Dane faction too, right?
Yeah, they're more in line with Beric's style of justice versus Lady Stoneheart's colder, crueler style of justice.
I think he might just feel obligated given the R'hllor magic.
Yes. Well, I think, yeah. Well, speaking of, I think one of the reasons he is doomed is because he has that magic.
Yeah.
Because he's been able to do it. It doesn't guarantee he can replicate it, but like if you have that skill, you're probably cooked. Yeah, I think I can't see there just being a casual resurrecting priest man chilling till the very end and nothing happens to him. Like I think he is doomed. I could see him being killed by Lady Stoneheart. To be honest, I could
agree.
see him refusing an order in like a kind of depressed way. Like he knows his fate, but he's like, no, I won't do that. And she's like, screw you, and then she hangs him.
And I do think he's slightly on the want them to die like part of the scale for me, mostly because of what you said, in that I think that his presence and being alive decreases the stakes pretty substantially for anybody around him.
Yes, so narratively...
Do you think he'll be mauled by a zombie polar bear?
You mean a zombie freaking polar bear?
Yeah.
Would he be mauled by a zombie polar bear and then die of the cold overnight in the most awesome death of all time?
Well, we don't know if it was overnight. It could have been like 3 months they were on that lake.
Well, it probably was about probably closer to 3 months than one night, considering the logistics of the dragon flying all the way down. All right, Thoros. I think likely he's not super, but like kind of around. Want him to die narratively, yes, but I don't want to put him too far down because it's not like we kind of. This is why we need a different thing for narrative and a different for deserve. We need
We're gonna add another layer every time we do a stream.
There we go. I'll put him there.
Okay. Moon Boy.
Out of context, people are gonna be like, "Yo, why did they hate Thoros so much? What the hell did he do wrong? He's done nothing wrong." Oh, Moon Boy. Oh, let's go.
First one in the likely to live but want them to die tier.
What did Moon Boy do?
He slept with Cersei.
Oh, that's a good point. You're not Jaime, though. Why do you care?
That's true. I just like Jaime.
I want a Cersei POV chapter where Moon Boy slams. I want Cersei's perspective.
That might be my least favorite thing you've ever said.
Breaking that back. Are you kidding me? I don't want him pulling out.
I think...
Honestly,
Moon Boy is likely to explode when King's Landing explodes, right?
You can't say when. We don't know. That's not guaranteed. Yeah, Moon Boy's probably, yeah, probably. Most likely, he's disappearing in some kind of chaos. He's probably dying. Is yeah. Yeah. No, I think he's like middling. Like he's landing. People
Yeah.
die. In terms of want them to die, I'm neutral. It's Moon Boy. If anything, I want. He's a jester. And he didn't sleep with Cersei. That was Tyrion being facetious.
I think slightly above Harris Harlaw is where I'm coming down on the Moon Boy.
Oh, I don't like what Hoya just said in the chat.
Let me see.
I just didn't need that sentence in my head.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, it's like an instruction. Like it's not even.
Oh, interesting one we just got here. Could you pull up Sansa? And as well as a super chat from Listless Receptionist. Pod is such a sweet kid. Don't do it, George. Speaking of sweet, what about Sweet Robin's chances?
Oh boy, well, there's a whole.
I was gonna say, did you have some hot takes on Sweet Robin? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah, we can get onto Sweet Robin in a bit. This is let's deal with Moon Boy.
Yes.
Before we move. So Moon Boy, I want him to live.
Yes.
Because he's just a fun jester, and I think jesters are like hugely underused in the series.
Agreed.
Like shockingly underused. Likelihood to die, middling. Want them to live. I kind of want him to live. Not hugely. I don't care that much. It's but like about there.
I'm perfectly fine with that placement.
Okay. At some point we will find someone who is likely to live, but we want them to die. Who would even fit that? Well, we want them to die either because they're a piece of shit or because narratively it's satisfying, but we don't think George will do it.
Tyrion.
Ooh. Oh no, that's a good point. That's
it's
a good
Tyrion.
Point. We'll get to that when we get to it. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Yeah, self-insert lives, even though he kind of deserves to die. / it would be satisfying. And based on him, no. Okay.
I think Arya might be in that territory too for me.
Oh no, no, that is up for debate. No, I'm not mad about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
let's do those two next. After Sansa and Sweet Robin.
Yes. So Sansa, Sweet Robin, Sansa. I think Sansa is guaranteed to. Not guaranteed. I think Sansa's very likely. I think Sansa being Queen of the North in the show at the very end. I think probably. I like the people compare her to people have made like Queen Elizabeth I comparisons. The
I like
Legend
that
Queen.
idea.
The ushering in a golden age under a queen regnant without a husband potentially.
Regnant?
Yes, as in ruling in her own right. No, regnant, ruling in her own right.
Oh, okay, got it. I didn't know.
And queen, not being married to a king. Yeah, no. Well, a regent would be ruling in someone else's stead, like a child.
Got it. Sorry, us Americans aren't used to the monarchy.
To be honest, I don't think most British people would know what
that's not unfair.
Regnant meant anyway. I think it's just me being a weirdo. But yes, I think she is going to live. I'm not going to put it at 100%. I could see the show being like, oh, her fate is to die, but we kind of like her and we like Sophie Turner and give her a nice ending, right? Especially after the controversy of season 5, the Ramsay scene. You can imagine if George said her fate is to die, you could see Benioff and Weiss being like, fuck no, that will piss people off after what we've done to the character. She can live. She gets to be powerful and live at the end. I think likely to live.
Holds me back from her being 100% on the live thing is her role in the original outline, both not as one of Martin's core 5 characters and as someone who is supposed to be like fully with the Lannisters at a point, kind of played as a villain at a certain time. But I do still think she is much more likely to live than she is likely to die. I think
yes, I put her beyond Jon Snow in terms of likely to live.
I agree, and I put her a little higher than she is too.
Oh, you know, that was just a placeholder.
Oh, sure. I'd say higher than Jon Snow for me.
I mean, Sansa, like I think I want Sansa at the top for me.
I would agree.
Sansa's one of my favorite characters. She's honestly more than I want her next to Brienne, if I'm being honest.
That's fair. Honestly, I think
equally,
Sansa would be in the conversation for my favorite character of the whole series if I felt like Martin had utilized her well in Feast and Dance, which he did not.
I agree with you.
Her
Yeah,
having three
feasting down.
chapters since the year 2000 is kind of insane.
Yeah, yeah. Where she, considering what she could have got up to. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, I like where her arc is clearly heading towards
Yes,
in
it's just taken
theory.
some time to get there.
Yeah, there's too much going on. If you trim the bloat, and you could have had some arcs.
Yeah.
Anyway. Um, Sweet Robin. Oh God, I'm
Uh,
so bored of talking about
want
Sweet Robin.
fully likely to live.
Okay.
Confirmed.
So, man. Okay. So there's this whole pushback against the people assuming Sweet Robin's gonna die, but of course he's not gonna. Littlefinger's given his plan, and you know what George likes his
No
expectations,
stated
etc.,
plan.
etc. So clear, he stated a plan, and no stated plan comes into fruition. So therefore, something will go wrong. Harold Harding will randomly die in a joust, rendering his entire pointless. Thanks, George. And Sweet Robin is actually based and will become the king or something, and he will live forever because he's sickly, and then everyone expects him to die, and the reader expects him to die, and it'll be a surprise if actually he lives. Fuck all of that nonsense. Sweet Robin's dying. He would have lived and been a marriage candidate for Sansa with the time skip, or betrothal candidate at least. Because he's too young, no time skip. Harry the Heir comes in. Sweet Robin is cooked. He's a dead boy. He's a dead boy. And
I don't know. I think he's gonna live. Personally, I agree with the masses on this one.
I don't
I'm not want him to live. I don't really care either way, as much as I can not care about the death of a child.
I mean, so you say he's in the middle here, but you think likely to live.
Yes.
I mean, I lean slightly likely to live. You lean slightly likely to die.
What?
Let's reverse that. Flip.
Yeah,
exactly
I was gonna say.
what I just said. Flip that. So I think in that case,
like
he needs to be he needs to be in the middle in terms of.
Yeah, I think
but,
right where you'd had him was kind of a good spot.
What, here?
Yeah, maybe a little.
Or here?
Little further to the left, I'd say, just to not be on the lines with Arya being the only one on the line.
Sure, but the only issue is that you're assuming I want him up in the want them to live quadrant.
Oh, sure. Do you want him?
Because no, he's annoying as shit.
Okay, we can put him down then, and he'll be the first.
Yeah, fuck you, Preston Jacobs. Fuck you, Preston Jacobs. I want Sweet Robin to die.
Go a little further to the left so he's not on the line.
There we go.
Thank you.
So slightly more likely to live than not. That's bullshit. But I'll let you come. There we go. Sorry, I'm getting the emotions get the best of me.
Sorry,
the only reason he's not all the way at the bottom is that I slightly respect him for chugging that milk. But other than that, he can. Wait, what?
Bartleby Scrivener also super chatted and said, "Addict Cersei will do Moonboy without good options." I'm assuming means explode him. But beyond that, we have another. Actually, do we want to do Tyrion and Arya before we get to another super chat?
Let's do it. Those are some big boys. Let's do it.
Yeah. So my thinking.
I'll tell you what. We could do like 5 whole live streams that are just purely people recommending characters from super chats that we decide the fate of. I think we're underestimating how many. I think we've forgotten just how many characters there are. This could take a lot of live streams.
Yeah.
Freudian slip. I said a lot of super chats. That shows you where my mind is. I only care about the money. Everyone, call me Littlefinger.
So okay, Tyrion and Arya, I would say, are in the same boat for me in that neither of them are going to die. I would be okay with either of them dying. Tyrion, mostly because I think his arc ending in death could be fitting, given how much of a villain he's become. Arya, because I think that out of all of Martin's core 5 characters, she is the one who could be the most likely to die in battle or something, or potentially being consumed by vengeance, though I do think she's going to end up being pulled back from the throttle on that via meeting her mother and seeing what Stoneheart has become. I think Tyrion I want to die more than I want Arya to die, but I think they're both very likely to live.
I agree, they're both likely to live, especially, everyone always... It could be like a bluff from... Everyone brings up the whole that George's wife...
Yeah.
Her favourite character is Arya, and she's like, if she dies, I'll leave you, although maybe she's adjusted her opinion since he became worth $50 million. Who knows? But yes, I agree. They're both, like, especially Tyrion living in the show. Tyrion, I've always been like a coin flip. It's like, will he live? Will he die? I genuinely don't know. Him living in the show makes me think he's, again, they did love Dinklage and they did change the character a lot, so I could see them being like, let him live. Or maybe his death is somewhat related to a villainous character, and because didn't go in that direction in Game of Thrones, they were like, it wouldn't make sense for us to kill him. But I can also see him. I got distracted by the super chat that said every way, and my mind went
your eyes just dilated. No, I agree with you. I think
for
that
a specific live stream, which is the fate of the phrase, by the way.
That's
got to be its own stream.
Yes, it does. We should rank A Frey to honor this super chat from MD, though. Let's put Walder up there.
We will do Walder. We will do Walder at the very least. But as much as I think death probably suits him, like, you know, he's almost gone past the moral event horizon. Like, I could see him, and I mentioned this before, him becoming Hand, but not as a kind of reward for being the good boy protagonist, but in a kind of, that's the servitude he's locked into.
Exactly.
That maybe he loses his tongue, you've helped destroy the kingdom, you helped rebuild it, dedicate the rest of your life to basically fixing your mistakes. I could see that happening. However, I think at this point, it does feel like death feels like a neater ending.
I like the idea of Tyrion kind of pulling the strings in the aftermath of whatever conflict ends up happening. But I could also see his death coming after that. Like, if I posed in a video a little while ago that I think if Daenerys is to be killed by Jon, it's going to be framed as a much more negative thing, because I think Daenerys is a great person in the books. And I think that Tyrion would kind of manipulate Jon into doing that, much in the way he will probably manipulate Aegon into going to Westeros and manipulate Dany into hating Aegon. So, yeah, I think Tyrion pretty far unlikely to live, and I'd say middling want them to die for me.
Yeah, likely to live. I'm gonna agree with you, to be honest. Yeah, middling, because I could see him having a satisfying non-death fate, as long as it's kind of tied in with the idea of punishment mixed with servitude in a way that's, you know, in some capacity. Whether it's a tongueless maester getting on with work, or being a Hand, or maybe a Night's Watch thing, I don't know. But I agree with you there. And
I think Arya for me would be like right above the likely to live purple text.
Tyrion, I'm wondering if it should be a bit more kind of halfway between likely to live and.
I don't think Martin's gonna kill him. I don't think Martin kills Tyrion.
You're right. It is him. It is self-insert. And what did you say about Arya? Sorry.
I think for me, Arya would be like right above the purple likely to live text,
where you want them to live, and
a little bit. I could see it either way, but a little bit more want her to live, and I'd say like as far as like Brienne and Samwell.
So likely to live, more so than Tyrion. Probably, I agree with you. Want her to live? Yes. Yes. Because again, a death ending could be satisfying. She dies and then walks into Nymeria and spends the rest of her life.
Ooh, Varamir style.
Yeah, I think that's from an old Alt Shift X video about Arya. You know, that's like kind of.
Oh.
That's quite a cool ending. But then, ultimately, I think her
most satisfying ending is giving up vengeance.
Yes, and I think I'd prefer her to give up vengeance and live than give up vengeance via death. So I want to put her higher on what her.
That's good. I'm good with that. Little higher.
Wait, Jon Snow. Who would I rather want to live, Jon Snow or Arya?
That's a good question, actually. I think I'd rather Arya.
Why is Jon so low on want to live, actually?
Because we thought it could be satisfying if he dies when magic goes away.
Oh no, that's a good point. I think Jon. Yeah, more than Jon. More than Missandei. Why is Missandei that?
I like Missandei.
Put her Missandei a bit lower, but not I. See, now we get into the problem where like I'm acting like I want Podrick to live more than Arya Stark. That's ridiculous. I don't want that.
Yeah, that's fair.
But just because of narrative wise, I'd rather.
I would agree with that. Because I think there are more satisfying endings.
I'm gonna put Podrick below Arya because that's absurd. Sam, I want Arya to live more than Sam. I'm fully.
But that's the thing. I think in terms of that one, I will fully defend that one. The reason I would put Sam above Arya in this category is that I can see more satisfying endings with Arya dying than I can see satisfying endings with Sam dying.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Damn, we really put effort into this one. This is we can never just have like a quick fire round. We really have to die. Okay, Warder Frey. All right, so that's one aspect sorted out. The question is, how likely are they, to die? I'd say 100% likely to die, right?
Yes.
Warder Frey. 100%. Like no one is more the John Connington levels going to die.
I think.
Don't get me wrong. The whole he dies and House Frey blows up. I'm open to the idea that House Frey blows up while he's still alive, kind of like infirm in bed. He lives long enough to see the house collapse around him. But oh my god, is he dead? He is so dead.
And if you tempered my love and wanting John Connington to live, I am tempering your wanting Walder to live by saying he would be at the very bottom for me.
I would say, all memes aside, I will, all my Frey love aside, yes, I want him to die. Although I'll put him right at the bottom.
Yeah.
Although my caveat is, I kind of want him to live long enough to watch his house collapse before he fully dies.
Do you want a couple of badass names to be thrown in here?
Let's go for it.
We've got Darkstar from Tyr the Cruel, and Aemon Steelsong from Pioneer 10.
Okay.
Which is an interesting one.
Yeah, alright, let's start with Darkstar.
Yeah, that...
Key of the Night.
So Darkstar right now is an enemy of Dorne. He is publicly assumed to have killed a Kingsguard. He is going to probably steal Dawn. I don't know. He's drawing a lot of fire right now. I don't think he's going to die in Winds. I could see him dying in A Dream of Spring. Because I think if one Dane is going to survive, it's going to be Edric, who's, like, good. What do you think? Yeah,
Darkstar's been set up as a dark, edgy, sort of Black Mirror to Arthur Dane, the ideal chivalrous knight. So yeah, he's dead. Whether he joins Young Griff's Kingsguard or joins Daenerys' Queensguard, or he's not just gonna be hunted down by Aeryo and Abara, and then it's like what the entire point of his character.
Yeah.
But I think a character like that is doomed. I think he's just like a villainous edgy. He's gonna die.
Agreed.
The question is, do we want him to die?
No.
No, I mean, on one hand, the meme value, I do appreciate it. I want him to throw. On the other hand, I don't know, man. He did kind of do nothing.
He did attack a child.
He did nothing and then wounded a child.
He didn't. Yeah, that's the thing. He might have been trying to kill her and failed. That's an interesting point. Do you think he was trying to kill Marcella and failed?
Yeah, because it's funnier to think. That anime meme, the guy in the cloak where it's like, my work here is done, and the girl's like, but you didn't do anything, and he just dramatically turns around and swishes his cloak. That's Darkstar. Arianne's like, you didn't do anything, walks away. I think I do want him to die because
yeah,
it's just yeah.
I think for me, he's in that little area between Tyene and Thoros.
Yeah. Yeah, he's certainly more interesting he's more fun than Thoros. I'd want to read about.
Yeah, because Thoros is just like depressed at this point.
But I think Darkstar should be below Thoros because just to emphasize, he not only did he try to kill a child, which is heinous, he failed, which is just embarrassing.
Yeah. Okay, I can put him below. That's fair.
Like, come on, Darkstar, what are you playing at? Okay, tell it to me, Quinn. Will the baby die?
I think the baby, controversially, will live. I think that Monster is probably going to die. But I think Aemon is probably going to live.
Monster being currently...
Gilly's baby that is currently masquerading as Mance's son.
Yeah, Monster might be dead.
Should we add Monster too?
Yeah, let's add Monster. Right. So why do you think monsters talk
So
to me?
we have this whole idea of king's blood being a necessary element of sacrifice. We know that only life can pay for death, and Melisandre specifically is really, really fixated on the idea of king's blood. And I think that that will very much tie in to Jon's resurrection. I actually had a theory a few months ago talking about the structure of Jon's resurrection and how it's actually going to work. And I think it's going to mirror the resurrection of Khal Drogo. In that instance, we saw a horse sacrificed, and then eventually Daenerys' unborn son was killed as well to preserve the life in Drogo's body. In this instance, I think that an animal will be sacrificed to begin the ritual, that being Ghost, and then I think that the baby Mance Rayder's supposed son, Gilly's son, is going to be sacrificed to fuel the ritual and restore life to Jon's body, but it will actually work this time given that his soul is in Ghost, and killing Ghost would free his soul from that prison where it is, and his body would then be restored. The thing for me is, I find it interesting that Gilly's son doesn't really have king's blood. He's the son of Craster, who's kind of the opposite, unless he's a Targaryen, which some people believe. And in that theory, I talk a little bit about how it could be seen as some sort of royalty in that Craster's sons are the others. They are the White Walkers. Jon is being resurrected by the blood of these kings of winter, and that is maybe king's blood for Melisandre's ceremony. But, sorry, that was a tangent.
Bro really just gave me a exam answer.
Yeah, sorry.
I
What do you think?
I stopped listening halfway through, so I'm just gonna say yeah.
Great.
So where are we putting him?
Aemon,
Monster,
that was about Monster, not Aemon. I think Aemon's gonna live.
Okay. Monster though, where Monster?
Monster,
where?
I think is
likely to die. Very likely.
Yeah, I would say around
At the very least, even if he survives all that bullshit, like White Walker invasion, he's fucked anyway.
I would say between Wyman and Jon Connington for me.
All right. Oh, in terms of likelihood, sorry. And then want to live. I mean, do you?
I was gonna say in both
thoughts?
regards, because it's a baby.
Oh, sorry. Yes, sorry. I had the want and the want to die. Like I had the live and die mixed up in my head for a second. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, sure, baby. You want a baby to live more than Jon Con?
The reason Jon Connington is this low is because of you.
That's a good point. Okay, fair play. And then
Yep.
Aemon, who probably going to live because he's got a cool name and he's Mance's son, and there's clearly something going on with it. However, maybe Euron attacks Old Town, takes Aemon, boom, King's Blood, sacrifice.
I want him to
Eldritch.
live, but I also think he's likely to live. I'd say, I don't know, around Podrick was my thought.
Around Podrick. I mean, I don't care as much. I don't. It's a baby. Because it's a baby, it doesn't have a character.
That's
I don't
fair,
care
but
that
it's a
much about it.
baby.
Yeah, but I don't. I'm not like, oh, I want the baby that. I want Mance Rayder's baby to live. Jon Snow. Like,
I want
let's be
Mance's
sensible
baby
here.
to live more than Jon Snow.
It's but I've got no connection to it beyond it being a baby, which it isn't in reality because it's a character on page. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Bartleby Scrivener says, Ned Dane kills Darkstar and claims Dawn, day/night. That could be cool.
Buzz.
Yeah, killing
What was that?
Darkstar, ending the night, and
Claiming-
taking Dawn.
Yeah.
Bars.
I mean, yeah. I mean, this is George R. R. Martin's fantasy world, so it does make sense that what a 10-year-old is going to kill a grown-ass man. If we look at what happened in the Dance of the Dragons, with like little kids being generals and all that bullshit.
You're just jealous of the Muppet Tullys.
Don't you dare! Don't you invoke Kermit's name, because you know what's going to happen. People are going to be begging for the Kermit voice to come back, and I refuse.
I believe we are through the super chat suggestions. So if we want to do some
Really?
more viewpoints, or if
Damn.
if you have more suggestions, feel free to add them. But who do you want to
There are
talk
no
about? For
other
this, viewpoints
no
we
other
have
super
left?
chats.
What was that?
I see a super. Oh right, that's just. Sorry, there's just one super chat. I don't know if you read this one. It's just Addict Cersei will do Moon Boy.
I
without
did
good
read that
option.
one already.
You did. I was not listening because that took me by surprise. Maybe laugh. Okay, yes, right, yes, let's do one.
Your pick.
Ooh, okay. What's something a bit different? What's a different vibe? Why would you have a whole bunch of POVs and Stannis in there? You thought I
He's
wouldn't
in the
notice that?
thumbnail.
You think I wouldn't notice Stannis not being there? Um, honestly, if he's in the thumbnail, he needs to be done.
I was gonna
Otherwise,
say, let's do Stannis.
it's clickbait of the worst kind. So who else was in the thumbnail? It was Jon and Stannis.
Jon. So we got Jon.
All right, potentially the same character.
Correct. Father and son.
Hey, if add that to the potential secret identities stream
Yeah.
with the webcam.
What do you think of Stannis?
I think he's an all right bloke.
I agree. He's pretty cool.
Oh man. Okay, so likely to die. I think Stannis is probably cooked, but I
would
still won't
agree.
100% it because I still don't 100% it because he does belong in that weird group of Jaime, Jorah, Tyrion, etc. of probably gonna die, but there's a chance that they might be locked in a dutiful thing like Night's Watch, but Stannis is the command. No,
Yeah.
no, I take it back. Stannis is more dead than those
Did
guys.
you
Stannis is
actually?
dead.
Did you see my
Stannis
video on
is dead.
Stannis's fate? There is one element that I think gets me to think there's a chance he lives.
I mean, I don't watch your videos, but go on.
Fair enough. No, I equivalate him and Renly to Cain and Abel, and I think that we've already seen that in like he's wandering to the ends of the earth as Cain is said to have done after having killed his brother, and Cain's curse is to like continue to live. So I don't know. That's one element I could see Stannis cursed with life, especially if he burns his daughter and it ends up not having the effect he expected. That could be cool, seeing him live with that.
Yeah. Hold on, sorry.
You're good. But yeah, I think
Oh,
overall he is more likely to die than he is likely to live.
I don't have that written down. What? Oh, that's annoying. Sorry. Yes, I was trying to see if I could get. I'm trying to get this Canva thing on. For some reason, when I click the link on the Discord, it's not taking me to the actual Canva app. Like
Oh,
I'm
did
on
you
the
close
Canva on the
Canva?
website. No, 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 no. I have Canva up. It's just on like my Firefox, which means I can't add more fun stuff, uh, to mess with you because
Uh,
I'm not logged in. Because it's not. But I'm logged in on my app, but it's not opening the app when I click the thing. Like how do I access it? Why would I click? Why would the link take me to Firefox? Open.
well, you're struggling with technology. I'm going to rank
People
Stannis.
care about this.
Let's see. So, I think Stannis is more likely to die than he is to
Wait,
live.
could you share this? Could you share this with me?
And I think I'd rather him live than Moon Boy, but I also
Oh,
think it's pretty satisfying if he dies. So I think Stannis would go like he's pretty far in the doomed category for me.
oh no, I have just closed it.
Because I would like him to live. I like him as a character, and I think there are some interesting ideas for how he could survive. But I think
Wait, I've got to come in. Stannis is an important character. I can't just not talk about him. Okay. Well, that was all. Wait, hold on. Stannis, yes. Almost definitely gonna die. Doomed character, a tragic Greek hero, inspired by Agamemnon, etc., etc. Dies in the show. I think that I kind want him to die. You've got him in want him to live,
yes,
bro?
the
Nah, come on.
Manus.
Stannis is. It would be so. I
Hey
can't.
everybody, Fantasy Haven wants Stannis to die.
Narratively, yes. I think his arc is so clearly headed some kind of doom,
I
probably
don't
a very
disagree with
tragic.
you.
I mean, you want to. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me step back. There's a problem. This is even this quadrant, even this four-sided thing isn't enough because if I'm imagining myself as a book reader, I want Stannis to win. I want him to beat the
Yeah,
Boltons. I do want him to live. I guess I'm viewing this whole thing less as invested in the page because it's been so long, and more of an outsider observing it as a story and being
yeah.
like, I think this character, his fate being death, just makes sense.
Everyone
But I
unsubscribe from
don't.
Fantasy
But I
Haven.
don't want him to die because
Fantasy
I do
Haven
like.
wants Stannis to die.
You know what? Keep him where he is. Let's say
Okay.
we want him. Like, yeah. I'm so annoyed. I just try to post. All I'm trying to do is post an image, and it's like, well, you can't do that because I'm using. Okay, log in then. Well, I don't know what my password. My thingy that has all my passwords
You
I
are
don't
cutting
have
in and
camera
out.
on.
I'm not sure why.
Oh, I'm cutting in and out.
You're
Oh,
good
that's
now. You
perfect.
were there for a second.
Maybe that was just my voice. It might have just been the emotion choking.
Maybe. We do have
God damn it!
another.
What's my password? Let me do forgot part. Oh no, that would log. I just wanted to post the fucking home gif where he's staring into space because you were rambling about Stannis for ages.
So we have some more
How many viewers
suggestions
have we
if you're
lost?
not too busy.
How many viewers have we lost since? Oh, we've gained viewers. That's cool. Suggestion. Hit me up. Hit me up. Hit me up.
MD super chat suggestion. Thank you very much. Howland Reed.
Ooh.
We know he's going to appear. Martin has said that much. He has a role to play in the story to come. What that role is unclear. I tend to think, yes, he will live. I don't see a reason why Martin would kill him or why he would die specifically. He killed Arthur Dayne, so he's clearly very skilled at arms.
I mean, he. If we're going by the show again, he dies in the show, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's gonna die in the books.
What?
Yeah.
When?
Cersei blows him up. in the Great Separate Baylor. I mean, that's obviously his fate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think he's this likely to, I mean, I think likely to live die. I think he's slap bang in the middle with Arya. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. And
I would put him,
I'm gonna
I would put him like near Aemond's Steel Song, but like further down on both. In that I think like
yeah, I agree.
I think we just don't know anything about him yet, is the tricky thing.
I slightly want him to live more than not, mostly because it's inconvenient having Arya's name slap bang in the middle. But also, I want to get to know him. He seems like a cool dude. Let him live. He hasn't done anything wrong.
And I also think he's more likely to live than he is likely to die. Because I don't think he's going to get introduced just to get killed off instantly.
Imagine an army of Crannog men in the long night with like Valyrian spears leaping around. Oh, a Valyrian steel dart. They just blow it out the...
I'm a fan. Yeah, I'd say put him a little to the left.
Riverlands, they get stuck in the bog.
Yeah. Do you want to move him to the left, you think?
Wait, why?
I think he's more likely to live than die.
Oh. Yeah, no, I agree with you, yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, we got a couple more. Tyr the Cruel is keeping us on our gesture train. Butterbumps and Patchface.
Okay, no, these are fun ones. I'm not gonna lie. The weird tertiary characters excite me more than the main one because the main characters have been talked about to death for years and years on hundreds of live streams. No one's talked about the fate of Butterbumps. That excites me. I think so. Butterbumps.
Patchface is easier. I think Patchface is like mega dead, right?
How can he be dead if he's going to be sitting in the Iron Throne? That doesn't make sense. How is he meant to rule on behalf of the Drowned God? He's already
back
dead.
After he dies again.
He's a water white. He's already dead. He's already dead. Where are we putting him?
So I think Patchface is
this?
like monster tier in terms of where I would put him. Below that, but...
Oh, for a split second, I was like, what are you talking about?
No, he's not a monster. Right? The baby monster.
Want him to live? Yeah, he's
cool. Really cool.
Fun. I love his little prophecy things. Likely, I agree. Likely, there's no way he's...
Because Melisandre has that vision of him with skulls about him. I don't know. I think he's definitely dead.
I'll put him above Monster, because I don't care about the fucking baby more than Patchface. So Patchface can go there. Not as cool as Wyman, but yeah, definitely gonna die. Not quite John Con, but like...
No.
Something's going up. Again, I don't
also
know if
might die of grayscale.
Melisandre might burn him on the stake, and then what will happen? He's going to turn into steam because he's a water white, and then steam. Because we were talking about fire and ice, fire white, ice white, boom, water white. What happens if fire and what happens if R'hllor and a drowned god come? Steam. This is a new element we haven't even discussed.
Oh.
When talking about all the gods and the elements, I'm trying to go somewhere with this. I'm riff, and it's not.
I was gonna say you're trying to go somewhere. I do not know where.
I need the knot to be tied. I'm like doing a magic trick and it's going wrong, and you're on the side of the stage just grinning at me and not helping me. The steam, the steam. Maybe there's a steam god we don't know about. Maybe
I'm gonna pull you
what
off
happens
the stage
if
with
you
a
combine?
giant
No, if you
cane
combine
now.
them, you have the Lord of Light. You have the Great Other.
The Black Goat of Qohor.
Combine them, boom, water. Combine the fire and the water, steam. Black goat cohort, steamed goat. You got yourself a delicious meal.
There you go. Speaking of delicious meals,
That's
what about butter
that's Wyman's
bumps?
god. That's Wyman's god. Butter bumps. Oh, very nice. Butter bumps being the fat jester, who's a great singer, and he's the Tyrell jester. So
He's our
is he still
introduction
in
to the
King?
Bear and the Maiden Fair.
He is. Is he still in King's Landing with
No.
Marjorie, or has he returned to Highgarden?
I believe he has returned to Highgarden with Olenna. I could be wrong. It would be a first.
Let me be the guy in the chair.
Yeah. But I think that Butterbumps, if Butterbumps is in not in King's Landing, I think he'll be fine.
Oh, I don't like the picture on the Wiki of Ice and Fire for Butterbumps. That's fucking disgusting.
Is it one of the AI ones or no?
It's not AI. It's not one of the cursed AI style pictures. It's just a weird one. Makes me uncomfortable. He's got, why is his butt like square? What the anyway, he can fart at will. That's what it says in his wiki. Thank you. Feast for Crows. Butterbumps entertains the guest at the wedding of Marjorie and Tommen. Okay, he's in King's Landing.
No, I think Olenna leaves right after that wedding.
But does Butterbumps go with Olenna?
I think so. Let me hold on. I have my copy of
Let's search
Feast.
of Ice and Fire this.
Let me check
Okay,
the
you
appendix.
look at your feast. Okay, I will do Search of Ice and Fire, which will obviously faster than you.
The
Butterbumps.
appendices aren't on Search of Ice and Fire.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Oh fuck! Butterbumps doesn't show up in Feast. That doesn't make sense. The wiki said he did show up in Feast.
Maybe the wiki's wrong. Hold on. I'm going to buy a Dance with Dragons appendix. I'm going to check the Tyrells and the
wiki's never wrong.
Lannisters. Oh, hold on. This just in, page 1057 of the appendix of A Dance with Dragons in the U.S. mass market paperback. Moon Boy is listed as being at court in King's Landing. There is not anything for Butterbumps. Butterbumps is not present.
Is he present? Is there a Tyrell section?
I'm checking on that now, but as of right now, it seems indications that he is not in King's Landing. House Baratheon, House Frey, House Lannister, Martell, Stark, Tully, Tyrell. Let's see. Butterbumps. Mace's household at Highgarden. Butterbumps, fool and jester, hugely fat.
I didn't need to insult him there, but all right.
That's what the appendix says. He is at Highgarden, so I think he's likely to live.
Okay, he is at yes. A jester. I think Highgarden is safe. I don't think anything's happening to Highgarden.
I would agree.
Yeah, I think Butterbumps is. I think Butterbumps dying. Yeah, likely to live. I think he's out there.
I thought you were
He's
putting
in
him
a
in the.
safe-
Hold on. Put him in the likely to live, but I want them to die, I think.
I mean, based on the art I saw, I kind of. Why do you want him to die, Quinn? Why do you want him to die?
I don't like him.
Why? He sings a song.
Vibes.
He's fat. Something about him being a fat jester does make me kind of want him, die.
I'd say
Is that rude?
maybe a little. I'd say like,
Rude considering the kind of audience we probably have.
hey, I'd say
Let's be
around
honest.
Aemon Sealsong and Howland Reed.
Yeah. You want him to live. Howland.
No, I'd say under those, but
Oh, under. All right, I don't know. Okay, let's move these bad boys up a bit, just so.
I'd
there
say
we
yeah.
go.
Good
Yeah,
idea.
he's just a jester. There we go. He's a good boy.
Beyond
He could
those
just
two,
he could just be here in terms of don't care either way.
speaking
No,
of
I'll
court
leave
at
him.
King's Landing here,
Okay.
a few more suggestions. First from Hitman Nick, suggesting Marjorie and Jalabar Joe.
Ooh. Okay, Marjorie Tyrell. And the one and only Jalabajo.
Maybe
Fantastic name.
one of the most difficult names to say in the series.
I mean, you said it pretty fine, I think.
Thank you.
Jalabajo.
It's a rare occurrence for me to say it correctly the first try.
Maybe it's more Chinese style. Maybe it's show.
Maybe. But Marjorie is an interesting one because she is currently in a pretty bad spot. She's in King's Landing. She's about to go on trial, but we do know that her trial seems to end in her favor. From both the Mercy sample chapter of the Winds of Winter and Arianne 2, where we hear that the Tyrell forces are beginning to mobilize and go south to fight Jon Connington and the Golden Company and Aegon the Sixth. So I think Marjorie is going to survive her trial. It's just a question of what happens after that. I actually talk a little bit in the video I am releasing tomorrow about one element of her fate that I could see. Did I talk to you about this? The marriage thing?
Pray tell.
Yeah, I like the idea that... So I think if somebody is going to get legitimized and carry on House Baratheon, it's probably going to be Edric Storm, being a bastard that is known about, the officially recognized bastard of Robert Baratheon, who is currently in lease. I think the odds are high that Daenerys is going to maybe bump into him there, maybe legitimize him in exchange for pledging support. And then I like the idea of maybe at the end of the story, Marjorie marrying a legitimized Edric Baratheon, marrying two fake Baratheons, and then Renly ultimately ending up with a legitimate, illegitimate Baratheon that is actually a Baratheon.
Lots of Baratheon.
Yeah. What do you think?
You know what? I read something, and again, I don't know how true it is, but I remember reading something that said the reason Marjorie dies in season 6 is actually because Natalie Dormer quit the show.
What?
That Natalie Dormer was like, the show's great, but I want to move on with my career. I have other things to do, and so they wrote her out as part of the whole bunch of people dying in one fell swoop. And if that is true, then that suggests that maybe Marjorie is not doomed like she is in the show. Maybe that she is someone who's gonna stick around and maybe enter yet another marriage. I don't know. I could see Cersei killing her as part of her spiral.
I think that's the
but
main
I could
threat.
see her living. Yeah, the main threat is Cersei, but other than Cersei, I think she's more likely to live than not. I don't think she's guaranteed to live at all, but I think she's in the likely to...
I would agree, and I think that Cersei very much has bigger fish to fry right now. She's got the Faith to deal with. She has her own trial, and once that concludes, she'll likely be out of power, definitely out of the Regency. So I'd say she's in that upper left quadrant.
Yeah,
around
I want her to
where
live.
Jon Snow
I do want her to live. She's just an innocent girl.
Yeah, and honestly, I want her to do more. I feel like she did more in the show than she has in the books.
Oh yeah, in the show she's a fully fleshed out character, and she's played by my future ex-wife. Whereas in the books, we don't really know that much about her. Barely on page, to be honest. But she seems cool, and we don't even know, is she a schemer? Is she, or is she kind of as innocent as she lets on?
I'd put her around where Jon Snow is.
Yeah, I'm not super duper invested. I don't think her dying is narratively satisfying or the other. But I would like her to live, and in terms of likelihood, I think... Is she more likely to live than Johnny
I don't think so.
More or less?
I think less.
Yeah, I agree. So let's put her there.
Perfect. And then Jalabajo.
I hate how Marjorie's name is spelled, by the way. That's so annoying.
It trips me up every time.
King Jalapar. So where is he currently? Is he currently in the cells, having been accused of...
Don't make me get the appendix out again. I think he's in jail right now.
Marjorie Blue about to open up an OnlyFans.
I think Jalabar is probably gonna die.
Wait, wasn't there like a bunch of... Well, no, wasn't the idea that Cersei was like, half the people need to be accused of sleeping with Marjorie, but she said, I also need to arrest a bunch of innocent people to make it look believable. so that the innocents can be released as they were just investigation. Right?
Yeah.
Is Jalapajot one of the innocents to be released?
InGen in the chat is saying Shalabar Show is in the dungeons in Qyburn's custody. I don't know if that's... Is that true?
Maybe Robert Strong's head is Jalapajot's head.
Maybe. And he's just going to declare war on the... Where's he from?
Is that why Robert Strong has the rainbow feathers coming out of his helmet?
Oh, you're right. Oh my god.
Cloak. He has Jalapajot's head. No one has predicted this yet. He's got the head of a handsome Nigerian prince. He's from the Summer Isles.
Yeah, that's it. He wants to go to war with the Summer Isles.
Yeah, because he's like, I'm an exiled prince, and everyone's just like, yeah, we'll get to it.
We'll do it someday.
Yeah, sure.
Which also, like, I've seen people talk about it, I think on the subreddit, saying like, yeah, if he'd showed up under Robert's reign, Robert would have been like all for it.
Yeah. Wait, no, he was there in Robert's reign.
Was he?
He's there since the first book.
I thought he showed up in Clash.
No, he takes part in the tournament.
Oh shit, you're right.
No, he's just, even Robert was like, I can't deal with this shit.
I'm surprised Robert did that. Didn't go for it then.
Any excuse for a war.
Yeah. But yeah, I think he's more likely to die than not. I think he kind of falls into the Knights of Summer camp.
Knights of the Summer Isles, am I right?
Let
me check the wiki. Let me check the wiki for any further details. Yeah, he attends a Hans tourney. Jane Paul admits to Sansa Stark she's frightened by his looks. Is she one of those? Is she one of those American Karens in Central Park?
Oh yeah, Robert always says next year. That's the thing. Okay, I got mixed up on that. I thought he got here later.
All right, he's held with the rest of Marjorie's falsely accused lovers in a dungeon under the charge of Qyburn. So I guess it's kind of 50-50. Either he's going to be, either he.
I think he's much more likely to die.
But the thing is, Marjorie's going to be found innocent, likely, which means all of the accusers are also going to be released.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he's tortured into a confession and therefore punished. But no, that doesn't make sense. No, if Marjorie's being found innocent, unless it, I mean, it's not like he's not like Horace and Hobber Redwine, where like they are kind of important political.
I forgot their real names.
Yeah, I did. I was struggling to think about what they're actually. Jalapajot, like, he could be killed. Like, there are no political consequences, really.
And it's also, he's in King's Landing, which is going to see a lot of bloodshed.
Yeah. No, I don't see him just randomly living or like fun side character. I imagine a lot of the fun side characters who are all doomed.
I put him a little under Tyene Sand.
Right. There we go.
Next up, we have a few more suggestions. I think we'll probably, we'll go through the remaining suggestions, is my thought. So if you have any more, get them in now. But Barbary Dustin by Chin Poko Master. And actually, let's pull up a few more. Also, Marcus Montgomery asks, will Jon be a white of ice and fire? I think so. The theory I talked about earlier, I think, kind of posits that with being
water.
Yeah, water white. Tyr the Cruel also suggests the best Frey, Aegon Bloodborne. And then Chin again also suggests Jenna Lannister.
Aegon Bloodborne is in S tier. You're correct. The best, that's up for debate. He is in S tier. I'm actually, you know what? It's funny they bring that up. Sorry, was it Jenna Lannister? Did you say was that?
Yes, Jenna Lannister was the last.
Okay, I wonder. It's funny you bring up the Frey thing, because I am actually my 4-hour live stream where I ranking every Frey until I go insane. I'm currently editing that down in fast-paced video to hopefully be released this weekend or at the least early next week.
Excellent.
As a little thing to throw out there while in between videos. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I put Aegon Bloodborne in S tier, because how could I not?
Barbary Dustin, I think, leaning she dies. What do you think? Because she's one of these northern schemers. I could see her getting killed by the Boltons, but I'm not sure.
I think she'll survive the Boltons. I think she'll live long enough for Stannis taking Winterfell. I think she'll be part of the schemes, whether it involves Stannis, Rickon, Jon Snow, Sansa, I don't know. I guess the thing with the average Northern Lord is that they're just slightly more likely to die than Southern Lords simply because of the long night.
Yes.
But because she's not a man and therefore probably not a warrior, less likely to kind of be on the front lines, like, like an Umber, for example.
Mm-hmm. I'd say for me, like, middling on kind of both scales. I'd rather her live, but I think that she could die being in the North.
I think she leans likely to die, but not by that. Not by lots, just a tiny bit. And then want her to live, I think I do, because she's an interesting character.
I agree.
I want her to live more than Moon Boy. Let's put her there.
Yeah.
Although I do like Moon Boy, and I do respect him pounding that fucking.
Someone in the chat, I think it's Listless Receptionist, who did a super chat earlier, brought up a good point, which is that Jenna Lannister could be toast if she attends the second Red Wedding. I think a lot of Jenna is going to hinge on what she does, where she goes. Because she could go to the second Red Wedding and get killed there. I think that's very likely. Isn't it like her son or nephew getting married, I think?
There are quite a few potential weddings. I think the most likely one is Davin Lannister, who would be her like cousin or first cousin or something.
Yeah, and then my other thought was
sorry. In terms of Frey's being married, not the Lannisters. I don't think it will be. No, it wouldn't be a Frey that's like
not a Lannister Frey
descended from her. No, but because it will be a Frey Lannister wedding, and she is a Lannister married to a Frey, then absolutely she's going to be there, and it'll probably take place in.
The only other possibility that I've seen people pitch is the idea of her taking up the regency after Cersei is imprisoned and Kevin is killed, because there really aren't any Lannisters around to do that.
Ooh. That's true. Yeah, I don't think she's a guaranteed death. She might even go back to Castle... If Cersei flees to Castle Rock and Jenna goes back to Castle Rock, maybe we'll have some, like, Cersei-Jenna interact.
That could be cool. I just had a random thought that I kind of like that's an alternative to that, which is that maybe if Jenna does die in the second Red Wedding or otherwise just wouldn't be able to get to King's Landing, there is another Lannister in King's Landing who could assume the regency.
Who?
Lancel.
Yo.
Kevin's son.
Yo. Let's go. But would he? Has he not effectively given up all claim to land at this point?
He is a warrior's son, but I mean, if the Faith would think that he would be their puppet and they could install him, I think I could see them doing that in an instant.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
That actually might be a theory I make at some point. That's an interesting.
Oh, they're going to turn Castle Rock into the Vatican.
That's a great idea. But yeah, Jenna, I'd say upper right quadrant.
Upper right quadrant. Yes, likely to die. Yeah, more likely than. But I can see her living. I don't think she's a guaranteed death. Although something about her being married to the Freys, I do think she's probably cooked. But yes, let's put middling for likely, and then want to live. I mean, up at the top for me. I think she's great.
I agree,
but not all the way at the top.
Not more than Wyman or Daenerys.
No, because I mean, I like her more than Wyman, but I think narratively it would be very satisfying if a revenge plot by the Brotherhood killed Jenna, because as readers we like her, and the revenge plot, like a Red Wedding 2, cannot just be phrase we hate dying and that's it, because then we'll just cheer it on. We need people we like. So yeah. I don't want her all the way up, but yeah, let's put her around there. If it was young Jenna, then it would obviously be at the very top, because Emmon is such a... I said it in my Frey live stream. Emmon getting with Jenna was the equivalent of like a nerd seeing a hot girl in the club, and then his dad walks over and says, "Hi, I'm Tywin. My son wants to marry you."
Tytos, right? It was Tywin didn't want that to happen.
Yes, my bad. Sorry, Tytos. Yeah.
So we have 3 more super chats, and I think these will be the last 3 we rank. If that's good with you.
Let's go for it, buddy.
Varys, Bedwick, Braun, suggested by
Christian,
Pioneer 10, and Tyr the Cruel. Or sorry, Jesse Travis. Sorry, there's one more from Tyr the Cruel. Sir Pounce.
Yep. Oh, of course. Wait, Jesse, who isn't that Jon Snow's friend? Jesse.
What?
Doesn't Jon Snow in Night's Watch? Jon Snow has a friend called Jesse. Because in the winds he's gonna die, right?
What are you talking
And then
about?
he's gonna be resurrected as Nice White.
Resurrected.
And resurrected. He's gonna be resurrected as Nice White. And then Fire White, as we've discussed, Fire White, Ice White. That creates
Walter White. Yeah.
Yeah, and his best friend's Jesse.
See.
That was a very stretched. That was a tortured. That one. I tortured that one out.
We have a super chat question that I'll answer real quick from Shannon J2. Question: what happened to Prince Rhaegar's body after the rebellion? Because I don't think it's ever mentioned what happened to it in the books. We know, there's all of these images of Rhaegar's body being smashed and the rubies flying into the Trident, hence it now being called the Ruby Ford. But we don't really know what happened to his body at all, which is interesting, because we know, rubies are associated with glamours, and as are, parts of a person's physical body. So, I don't know. That's an interesting note.
It is quite interesting that they don't, because if they'd found it, there probably would have been a thing done. Robert probably would have had the corpse hanged.
Yeah.
Like fucking Oliver Cromwell dug out of his grave and then beheaded, and his head put on a spike after death.
Yeah. But that is interesting, because I think there is a lot of glamour flags around Rhaegar with the rubies, and now with his body not being there. That is interesting.
You can
I'm not saying that Rhaegar was glamored and someone else died. Yeah. I'm saying someone could be glamored as Rhaegar.
Callum said, "I assume he'd just be buried."
Yeah,
it's I don't think Robert would just bury him. I could see Robert take his head off, put it on a spike, and then have it in the air while you're we've killed.
Yeah, Carl Tanner of Gin Alley, just drink out of it.
Oh God! Turn it into a plate, eat some boar out of that shit.
Yeah,
dip it in the brains for some juice.
So, what do you think of Varys?
I'm so tired, man. Varys. Can I just quickly skip and say, I'm not gonna lie, Chief. I don't know who Bedwick is.
Neither do I.
But I'm very happy that we got given someone called Bedwick, because that's exactly the kind of minor characters.
Can you be the guy in the chair real quick?
I am. I hope this is a 15-part stream where we go through every single fucking character and we destroy the script. Bedwick, named Giant due to his short height. Short King represent, that sounds, is an experienced ranger of the Night's Watch. He's a hair and a half over 5 feet tall. Has streaks of grey in his hair showing his age.
What has he done? What is his role in the books, Ben?
He's part of the Great Ranging Beyond the Wall. He's a scout under Thorin Small. Storm of Swords, he survives the fight at the Fist. Makes his way to Craster's Keep. He stays loyal during the mutiny. Makes it back to Castle Black. He's part of the force that Bone Marsh takes when he fights the Weep at the Bridge of Skulls. Dance with Dragons. Jon Snow puts Bedwick in command of the abandoned castle Icemark and gives him a garrison of 30 men. His mission is to restore the Way Castle to move about. So he's in charge of restoring Icemark.
Sure.
On the wall.
I don't think Icemark is a particularly high priority target, but being on the wall, I think, just makes you likely to die.
Just being a member of the Night's Watch, you're probably cooked, aren't you? So, let's say likely to die, and let's put him in the middle. Because don't give a fuck.
Yeah, maybe I don't want him to die necessarily. I'd say next to Aegon on the left.
All right, because he's a Night's Watch guy. He's a nice boy, and
I like the idea of Arya being the only one on the line.
That is true. That is true. The radical centrist. He just wants to grill.
What do you think about Bronn? Do you think he's gonna be Lord of Highgarden?
No, but I think he will be Master of Coin.
I think he'll survive the series. I think he's too fun of a character for Martin to really want to give up. And I think him being at Stokeworth is close enough to King's Landing to still make appearances, but not in the capital where he's gonna burn to death when it explodes.
His arc is very clearly realistically rising through the ranks. Not going from sellsword to given the castle to stripped of that castle and then sellsword for the rest of the show until suddenly Lord of Highgarden. He's gone from sellsword to very well paid bodyguard to married to knight to married to a despoiled second daughter of a lady to being the husband of that lady, becoming literally Lady Stokeworth, thereby making Stokeworth, and therefore in charge of an important castle and lots of fertile land, potentially going to help embargo the city, and therefore young Griff maybe get promoted in some way. So he is gradually rising through ranks. I could see. I don't want him to go to like jump in like a silly, unrealistic way, but him being a pretty decently powerful lord in the aftermath of political turmoil would be quite satisfying. I do, even though he is, not a good person, probably a psychopath. I do want him to live because he's entertaining, and I think narrative. We keep saying narrative die. Narratively, it's satisfying if Bronn lives, right?
I agree. I think,
and then
yeah.
I
think that little area between Butterbumps and Marjorie Tyrell Aemon Seal Song.
The way you say Butterbumps, the way you say butter, the way that sound escapes from your mouth makes me shiver.
Oh.
So wait, Butterbumps and
That's
Marjorie.
Varys.
Oh, that's Varys. My bad. I often mistake Bronn and Varys.
Bronn is Varys, actually.
Please, no more theories. Please, no more. Bronn. So in between there,
that's good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Likely to live, yes, but not all the way, because I could also see him dying.
Yeah.
I could see him overreaching and then falling.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think of Varys? I do not think, I've been on record recently as saying I think that Illyrio is going to get Varys' death from the show. I think that the climax of Tyrion and Daenerys' arcs in Winds will be this confrontation with Illyrio, where she kind of just gets very angry with him, given the fact that he protected Aegon while effectively selling her as a slave. And I think that will result in Daenerys burning Illyrio.
I think Illyrio is cooked.
Yeah. But
literally.
Varys I also think is cooked, but I don't quite know how. You know what? Actually, what would be perfect? It would be perfect if Varys got Jaime and Cersei's death from the show.
Okay, I'm gonna let you cook because I'm very confused right now. But
no, it's not that complicated. But I think that Varys is going to stay on as Master of Whisperers
by Jaime, who's like, "I love you."
Yeah, no, I'm saying in terms of, I think Varys is going to be Aegon's Master of Whisperers, being the person who got him where he is. And I think that Varys, being someone who is so involved with the Red Keep and its secrets, I could see him dying in the walls during a collapse of the Red Keep and just never being found again.
I like that. I like that. I'm quite a big fan of is it even a trope? But the whole shadowy characters also die in the shadows.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I could see Varys. Yeah. No, I like that. The idea of him trying to escape and collapse on him, that's actually great. I
think I maybe cooked a little bit there. I like that idea.
Yeah, that's actually... I haven't often thought about a satisfying end to Varys, beyond like a kind of, he pisses off the wrong person, gets beheaded, but him trying to escape to scheme another day as everything literally
as the walls close
him,
in.
Well as, metaphor, and he just is crushed under those dark tunnels trying to escape.
Damn, I need to do another Varys video. I want to talk about that now.
I'm going to steal that and put it in my own book.
Hey.
No, that's good. I think he is likely to die.
I agree.
Man, his death scene in the show, I don't just mean how stupid the build-up to it was, but just the direction. Like,
yeah, it was really bad.
It was really, considering the rest of the episode, by the way, directed amazingly. Say what you will about the bells.
For as much shit you can give the bells, it's shot incredibly.
Yeah, Sapochnik did a great job, but like Varys' death is like the dragon breathed fire, and then it's silence, like no screaming, no nothing. It's just a bunch of characters looking at some flames. Like compared to how they filmed Randall and Dickon being flamed, where like their bodies collapse into dust, it's amazingly done. Varys just like vanishes. It's really, really poorly directed. But yes, likely to die. I do want him to die too. I think his character is, likely to die. Want him to die. I don't super want him in terms of midway for narrative. In terms of does he deserve it, kind of. But he's not like a hated.
I'm good with that.
I could see him living and escaping, like fucking Dijkstra in the Witcher book.
Sure.
Likely to die. Yeah. Want him. Yeah, likely to die. I think very not all the way. Let's put him
I
there.
agree. I think he's more likely
All
than
right.
Jaime.
Yes,
And
yes.
last but not least,
Uh, yeah, no, yeah. Yeah. Best till last, huh?
yeah, Sir Pounce. I think he is far bottom left, right?
Sorry, I got distracted by a comment in the chat.
Hmm.
Bottom left.
Far bottom left.
You monster. Um,
He cannot die.
Wait, he cannot.
Yeah, likely to live. I want him to die.
Yeah, of course. Okay, well, he can go there. It's
Perfect.
the pounce that was promised.
Who's gonna kill
He,
Tommen?
the,
This was really
the
fun. We need
prince,
to do
the,
another one of these on your channel.
the Prince Slayer. That's what
Yeah.
they call Sir Pounce after he. Yes. Yes, I appreciate that we've deliberately left some POVs.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
deliberately unintentional, but we do have a good bit. And some of these I like wanted to talk about because I know we have varying
oh,
opinions on Barristan.
I thought you were deliberately overdoing, like focusing a lot on the super chat so that when I get to do mine on my channel, there are POV. No, you wanted to snatch up all the POV.
Yeah.
This was fun. This
Yeah.
was excellent. I cannot wait for part 6 where people are sending in like the most obscure characters because those would be. But we need to properly balance big ones and obscure ones so
Yes.
that we don't just have live streams full of obscure because they're all just going to go into I don't care.
Yeah. So, what do you have to plug? You said you're working on a Hound video?
Oh yes, time to plug. First
Also,
off, let me
like the
plug my
stream. I forgot to say that at the top. Like the stream, please.
like the stream. Oh, I haven't liked the stream. I do apologize.
God damn it.
There we go. Like the stream. Leave a comment afterwards to help it grow in the algorithm.
That too.
Subscribe to Quinn, but preferably subscribe to me because Quinn's got
Oh.
more subs than me. I've overtaken you once in our entire YouTube career.
And you bragged
together.
about it too much.
Yeah, I overtook you once for like a week, and then you overtook me. Things to plug. I like to plug my DMs. I'm single now, so slide in, ladies. No, I'd like to plug my channel. Subscribe to Fancy Haven. Check out the Fancy Haven Patreon. Exclusive videos, teasers, and some fun exclusive Discord stuff. I also have merch if you want a Fancy Haven. If you want a t-shirt that's a kraken fighting a big mecha hightower, and just some fun mugs. Everyone loves mugs. Yeah, Patreon merch. Check that out. Check out my channel. And upcoming, the Real Hound is coming. Edited down, ranking every fray live stream from earlier this year, or no, from last year is also coming. What else is? I did an Elder Scrolls video for those who are into Elder Scrolls. Check that. It's a bit of a sleeper hit right now, I think.
Yeah.
It's about the Great War. I'll be working on the Skyrim Civil War next, so check that one out. Feel free to argue in the comments inanely.
And
Yeah.
in terms of my own stuff, I have a new video coming tomorrow about Robert Baratheon's bastards and their role in the Winds of Winter, which you can see the thumbnail for on screen now. That'll be out tomorrow at noon Eastern, so be sure to check that out. Contains a very fun theory that I did with Interesting Nerd Club as well. But yeah, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, check out all of our other stuff, and yeah, thank you very much for watching, and thank you, Mr. Haven, for joining me.
It's the late Jarl Haven now.
Sorry, my mistake.
I'm a Skyrim Jarl now. I've moved on.
All right, well,
I'll never move on. I'll always do a Song of Ice and Fire video.
we will see you all soon. Thank you for watching.
Farewell. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Ooh,
All right. We are clear.
those are some good numbers.